Prowlers' backs are against the walls, but they have their home crowd behind them tonight as the series shifts to McMorran Place. Blue Ridge can end the series with a win tonight. Mike Mercurio and Reggie Millette on the face-off. Game 2 is underway. Reggie Millette had 2 goals in Game 1. Dietrich to the net. He scores! That's the early goal for Huron. We have an octopus on the ice. Bucell and Alvo look like they're going to drop the Mets. Bucell hammering right hands at Steven Alvo. Alvo missed with a wild right. Bucell has his man down, and he decides the fight's over. Sharp angle try, stopped by Cooper, and they score on the rebound. It's Gallagher, and he has Blue Ridge on the board, and we're back to even. Sends it ahead and up out of play, and Austin Federley is going to the box for delay of game. So the Bobcats get their first chance on the power play. They were 1 for 2 in Game 1. Back to Alvo, has some trouble. Here comes Millette shorthanded. He scores! And just a bobble at the blue line by Alvo. And Millette able to go the other way. Forehand, backhand, shelf. Here's Hakela with a shot. He scores! Right off the face-off. R2 Hakela makes it 3-1. Lockhart pitches it over to Lochte. Has Federley with him. Federley alone. He scores! Lucas Lochte just put it to an area. Nobody there except Austin Federley. He's able to tuck it low. And that is the end of the night for Greg Hussey. As Anthony Schrum is coming in. Pitched it ahead, turned it over. Price down into Cumbus. He scores! And another for the board here on Prowlers. It's 5-1. Their team has survived to live another day. We'll see you tomorrow night for Game 3. Winner take all. It's game number 3 of the first round series between the Port Huron Prowlers and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The winner moves on to Binghamton. The loser sees their season ended. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you at historic McMorran Place in beautiful downtown Port Huron. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. For the first time in 8 years, a playoff series will end here in this building. Last time, the Prowlers beat the Danville Dashers back in 2018, and they will try to come back from a 1-0 series deficit to win both here at McMorran Place and move on to the next round. Now, the Bobcats do have a new face in the lineup. Hugo Koch has been claimed off of waivers and signed. He will be available and likely in the lineup tonight. We'll get into that and much more as both teams have their backs against the walls, and the only way forward is through the other one. We'll have the pregame show next on the PHP Network.
Is that him?
Look over there. It's Bob. Wow, just look at that hair. Ever since he started getting his stuff from Global, the guy's unstoppable.
So that's what confidence can do?
That's just not fair.
Oh my goodness, it's Bob! Bob! Bob!
Give me the phone. I'm calling Global Pharmacy Plus for myself.
There's nothing like a winner-take-all to get the juices flowing, and most of the people in this building hoping that the Port Huron Prowlers can continue their season with a win tonight. Will Wiggleman back with you here on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. You see the scene down here in McMorran Place. First time a series-deciding Game 3 has been played in this building in quite a long time. And the Prowlers have home ice advantage, and they needed it after dropping Game 1 on Wednesday in Virginia. Let's take a look back at Game number 2 last night, and a much more convincing victory in Game 2, and this time it went the way of the Prowlers. Port Huron scored 4 unanswered goals after the Bobcats made a bit of a curious decision to start Greg Hussey instead of Anthony Schrum. Last night, Hussey got pulled after just over 33 minutes of work and 4 goals against, but by that point, the damage had been done. Prowlers win 5-1, and they extend the series to tonight. So we look at the bracket here in the FPHL's Commissioner's Cup playoffs. PD and Columbus each picked up wins in Game 1. The Ice Cats did it on the road, so they will be home for Game 2 and a chance to eliminate the Athens Rock Lobsters, who finished as the top seed in the Continental Division. River Dragons will head on the road to take on Monroe and try and end that series. On the other side, Black Bears finished off the Scarecrows last night. They are the first team to advance to round number 2, and they await the winner of this game here tonight. Let's take a look at some players to watch for tonight's game. Well, we mentioned it, the Blue Ridge Bobcats have a new face in their lineup, Hugo Koch, who played this season with the Biloxi Breakers and the Topeka Scarecrows. 49 assists, 58 points for Koch this year. And that assist total would have led the Bobcats had he joined them at some point in the regular season. But again, here in the playoffs, both of the teams that he played for in the regular season are out. Their seasons are done, but Koch continues on. He was claimed on waivers yesterday, wasn't expected to play in this series, but he arrived today, and now he will make his series debut and his Bobcats debut in a must-win game. On the other side, for the Prowlers, their offense has been led by that man, Reggie Millette, who scored a number of clutch goals in this series so far, including the shorthanded game-winning goal last night in game number 2. He has 2 points in each of the first 2 games, and we'll see if he can find the score sheet again here tonight. Now, during warm-ups earlier this evening, there was some nastiness going back and forth on both sides. Started with a meeting at center ice. You see Brandon Reller, who's going to be making his series debut tonight, having a conversation with Matt Graham right there at the center dot, with the lines keeping them apart. And then Reller had a little bit of a disagreement with Brian Parsons. We only caught the tail end of that one, as Parsons kind of turned and fired the puck in the direction of Reller. But again, things have been heating up in this series. They were heating up during warm-ups, and both teams are going to come out with a lot of fire. Again, there are some lineup changes for the Bobcats here tonight, as Reller is in. Of course, Hugo Koch is in as well. Damon Ferusith is out tonight, as is Denver Craig. And Craig, certainly a sizable loss for these Bobcats. And we'll see who slots in his spot on his line. Craig with a goal in game number 1, but he did take that big hit from Ben Brockway. Returned to that game and played last night. And now he is out for the series deciding game 3. Let's take a look at the Prowlers lineup for tonight's game. All the same, no changes. Ryan Parsons stays in, Ben Brockway stays out for game 3. You hear the Boo Birds raining down here from McMorran Place as the Bobcats take the ice. But again, no changes for the Prowlers in this one. Crowd electric last night. Looks to be even bigger tonight and it should be an even more electric atmosphere. We're excited to bring it to you here on the PHP Network. Let's take you down inside McMorran Place so you can feel the energy.
Somebody scream! I can't hear you! Oh, let's welcome to the ice, your port, Prowlers! Number 16, Brian Carson! On defense, number 75, Tim Organ! And forward, number 17, Grayson Dietrich! Forward, number 46, Jamie Bussell! And forward, number 79, Ricky And in goal, number 33, Reed Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And gentlemen, ladies and gents, remove your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, presented by Derek Lee by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Cheryl McCoy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Cheryl McCoy on the anthem tonight, and if that doesn't get you fired up, check your pulse. This is an electric atmosphere here at McMorran Place. We get a ceremonial puck drop. We take a look at tonight's Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Prowlers. Grayson Dietrich, Reggie Millette, and Jamie Bucell. Top line report here on starts up front. Tim Morgan and Brian Parsons on defense. Reed Cooper back between the pipes for the third straight game. And Cooper tonight will be opposed by Anthony Schrum as we look at our Harrison Metal Fab starting goaltending matchup. Schrum had to come in relief last night, played 26 minutes and 42 seconds, stopped 4 of the 5 shots he saw. Cooper has played every single minute for the Prowlers so far in these playoffs. He's been spectacular. 30 saves on 31 shots last night. Well, the Prowlers and Meyer are partnering for the Goals for Good program. For every goal the Prowlers score this season, Meyer will donate money to help give food to hungry families in our community. So far this season, the Prowlers and Meyer have helped deliver 12,000 meals to families in need. The siren sounds at McMorran Place. That means it's hockey time. The final opening puck drop for one of these two teams. Winner moves on to Binghamton. The loser goes home. Their season is over. Bobcats won game 1 in Wytheville in overtime. Prowlers won game 2 here last night in regulation by 4. What do we have in store here? Series deciding game number 3 is underway. Tim Morgan plays it over to Brian Parsons, who is inserted into the lineup for game 2. Brandon Reller dumped the puck back in. Reller seeing his first action of the series. Meanwhile, at the neutral zone, Bucell and Podrazov are having a conversation away from the puck. Thought they might drop the gloves, but instead they keep on going. Here's Reller. Sweeps it around to the far side. Andrioli gets it back deep. Millette hustles to it, and still more tussling between guys away from the puck. Oregon starts ahead. Now it's Parsons getting involved with a different Bobcat. As it's dumped in, both teams make changes. Robin Erickson flags it down at his own end, wrapped around to the near side. And St. Pierre taken in by Austin Federley, who had a goal last night. Federley to the front, and just couldn't get that one to go on the short side. Hugo Koch, the newest Bobcat, moved that puck out of his team's end before it was dumped right back in. A minute gone in game 3, and already plenty of nastiness and physicality. Here's an icing against the Bobcats as St. Pierre couldn't find a teammate, didn't have enough touch on the dump. And the Let's Go Prowlers chant start from the McMorran faithful. Here's the first hit of the night from Podrazov, and he and Bucell were chatting for about 20 to 25 seconds after that. Prowlers have Ryan Alexander's line out there. Alexander swoops in to grab the puck, but he couldn't bring it with him. Erickson up the near side boards, comes back to Erickson. Long lead pass, tipped off a Bobcat stick. Koch tries to spin away. Cooper hands it off for Larkin. This time the Prowlers ice the puck. And the face-off will come all the way down to Reed Cooper's end. I hope you got a taste of how loud it is in this building over these first couple minutes of action. Mercurio's line on for Blue Ridge. He draws against Alexander. Puck is dropped. Bodies go flying. Larkin wraps it around this way. Kept in, or not kept in actually, by Lavak. He sent it back in. Cooper leaves it for Larkin. John Larkin has an assist in every game he's played as a Prowler. He's played 7, 5 in the regular season, 2 here in the playoffs. Dietrich works in, muscled off by Kazirev. Philip Lavak goes off the boards and gets it out. Oregon regrouping. Try to go towards Bucell. Ends up coming through for Hlavak in the Blue Ridge end. Timothy St. Pierre with a cross corner dump. Andrioli and Oregon get there together. Bucell throws the body into Andrioli. Daly did the same to Bucell. Millette pinned along the wall. Daly now trying to get back to it. He takes a hit from Bucell. Puck still stuck below the Prowler goal line. Now it's Millette. Able to start wheeling his way up ice. Millette dangles. Millette's in. Spinning back. Millette to the trailer. And they blow it dead for a penalty behind the play. Oh no! Bryant Parsons is going to the penalty box as Brett Lockhart was about to have the best chance of the game so far. Holding called against Parsons. You see him and Daly behind the play here, and that lasted just too long. Oh man, Brett Lockhart was going to walk right down Main Street. Instead, Port Huron has to defend. A penalty kill. Bobcats 1 for 7 on the power play in this series. Here's Hlavak over to the left wing side. Mercurio back up top. Hlavak with a wrister blocked by Graham. And Graham found the loose puck but couldn't get it out as he hit Martin. Larkin finds it. This time he does the job and gets it all the way down. Hlavak sent it all the way through, misses intended target. Lockhart puts it back down. Here comes Hlavak again for the Bobcats. Left wing side, Mercurio. Mercurio stops up, had it taken off his stick by Lockhart, who sends it all the way down to Schrum. Hlavak gave it to Hugo Koch. Koch lost the handles, he tried to dangle. And another clear for the Prowlers. They're about halfway done with the holding penalty to Parsons. Gallagher sent it across. Koch chopped it into the Prowler end. Bobby Price has it there, and he saucers it the length of the ice. Millette and Podrazov chasing after it. And now Stephen Ovo picks it up. Ovo back to Koch. Had to avoid the oncoming Matt Graham. Bobcats bench wanted a penalty. And instead, here comes Koch trying to slip it down low. Puck bounces around. Cooper couldn't find it, and it bounces in. And it might be Koch in his Bobcats debut who gets the first goal of Game 3. There were questions coming into this one whether Koch would even be allowed to play, but they got an exemption. Puck was behind the net. And there's Koch, just able to bank it in. And it's 1-0 Bobcats, just 4:39 into period 1. So the Prowlers have to play from behind. Bobcats get their second power play goal of the series. They went 0 for 5 last night on the man advantage. And I mean, you talk about a possible 2-goal swing as the whistle blew while Brett Lockhart was walking down Main Street with a grade A opportunity. The whistle blew for the penalty, and then the Bobcats score on the ensuing power play. Here's Kazirev. Played it around behind the net. Swept up and kept in by Radchenko. Floated through, save Cooper, and he finds it and puts his glove on top. They're actually giving the goal to Demid Podrazov. Hugo Koch does pick up an assist. It's 1-0 Bobcats in the winner-take-all Game 3. We'll take a timeout. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll take, come on. Get up up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Demid Petrezov from Hugo Koch and Carson Gallagher, a power play goal, the only one so far early in Game 3. And again, Koch was claimed off waivers by the Bobcats yesterday after the series started. The FPHL allowed the Bobcats to sign him today and for him to play in the game. And now he has been part of the first goal of this all-important Game 3. It's a wrap chance, stopped by Cooper. Comes all the way out to the line, Alvo. Over to Rosenbaum. Back to Alvo. Claps it hard off the back wall. It's on the back of the net. They battle for it. Taken down by the Bobcats. Rosenbaum, D to Alvo. Wrist shot off a Prowler. That was Bucell, and it goes up out of play. Jamie Bucell did a good job to get in the shooting lane there. Take a look at the wraparound chance here for Reller, who again has not played yet in this series until tonight. Set career highs with 22 assists and 36 points this season. Bobcats controlling the Prowler end again. Larkin able to poke it up towards Price. Goes back to Larkin. Port Huron looks to exit. Alexander gets the red line, chips it in. Lavak tried to sweep it around, hit Price, went high up in the air, glove down, and the lead pass is for Koch. Right wing side, it's Martin. Tried to drop it back for Koch. He had it knocked away. Here comes Price, flying ahead. Price has a piece of a dasher board attached to him. He heads off to the Port Huron bench. That's just the dasher board ad, by the way. It looked like was attached to Bobby Price. Stuckless pitchforks it behind the Prowler goal. Organ up to Lockney. Got it around to Parsons. Sent out to Federley, able to tip it to the middle of the ice. Kazirev tried to pull it back in, took a hit from Federley as he did. Lockney chops it along but couldn't get past Radchenko. Almost given away there by Organ. Stuckless has it, shot blocked by Graham. Prowlers having a rough first few minutes of this game. Parsons, short pass for Millette, he gets it deep, right in on Schrum. Dietrich comes together with a Bobcat. Here comes Petrezov, middle of the ice. Gave it off to the left wing side, and the long range shot scooped up by Reed Cooper. Get an edge in your game with Top Cheese Stick Wax, the official wax of the Port Huron Prowlers. Use code Prowlers15 for 15% off at TopCheeseHockeyWax.com. Reed Cooper was 30 for 31 last night. Gave up a first period goal to Carson Gallagher. Did get the Prowlers the win, and that's why we are playing here tonight. Price couldn't dance his way through. Favaro over to Larkin. Larkin tried to feed a pass across, hit a Bobcat skate. Favaro bangs it back in. Prowlers had to wait on the delayed offsides. Alvo skates past to Cumbus. Dumped right in. Cooper steers it over to the corner. Price popped it off the wall for Alexander. Alexander wheeling his way in to the outside. Favaro couldn't settle it down cleanly. Now he has it. Favaro slipped it towards the middle, and Martin picks it up for Blue Ridge. Saucer pass all the way out, looking for Gallagher. It was knocked down by Lockhart with a high stick. Now we get a whistle and a face-off. Carson Gallagher was trying to sneak behind everybody over by the Prowler blue line, and Daniel Martin looking to send him in on a breakaway. Koch will slide. It looks like is sliding into this line with Martin and Gallagher. This is Denver Craig's spot. At least it had been for the first 2 games of this series. Craig out tonight. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Prowlers. Graham couldn't get the pass across. Now he got it in front, and Hakelam missed. Lavak up the boards. Swept out. Here comes Martin. Johnson hustling to cut him off. Martin couldn't dangle. Kicked it back. Shot from the outside. Handled by Cooper. Erickson for Martin. Lets it go. Missed wide. Karen back in front. And Lockhart rescues it. Goes off the glass and sends it back to Blue Ridge's ice. Full change here for the Prowlers. They have Millet's line on. Lavak chased out by Dietrich. Tried to hand it off. And Lavak able to get to Erickson. Under pressure from Dietrich. Oregon at the red line. Try to send it back in. Dietrich now gets around Erickson. Dietrich looking in front! And Bucell couldn't get a good touch on it. That puck was bouncing. Erickson now for Kazirev. Dumped in from the red line. Oregon bumps it over for Bucell. Ahead to Dietrich. Into the offensive zone. Millette tried to get Bucell, trying to wrap. It's set there in the crease. But Schrum reached out and covered. Jamie Bucell tried to go all the way around and almost caught Schrum. But just couldn't take that extra step to tuck it. Good stick there defensively from Michael Mercurio. Anthony Schrum hasn't been too busy yet. Prowler's trying to give him something to think about here as Alexander will draw against Podrazov. Podrazov won it to the wall. Alvo chased by Price. Got it ahead, touched out of the zone. Larkin at the red line, fires it back around. Alvo up to Reller. Moved it to an area. Favaro couldn't control that puck. Reller after it. Threw a hit on Larkin. At the top, Alvo wrists it through, hit a skate. Comes all the way to the near side. Rosenbaum sends it through, blocked by John Larkin. And here comes Alexander, slipping it to Price. Price wheels in with a shot, kick save by Schrum. And DeCumbus couldn't get to the rebound. Reller behind the net to Rosenbaum. Graham looking to chase out Rosenbaum. Alvo gets the red line, sends it in. Gallagher knocked it down. Prowlers get it out. Lockney trying to get to it. Batted down. Johnson, Federley, and now Lockhart with some skating room. Got it ahead to Graham, but he couldn't handle the pass. Lockhart, indirect feed off the boards. Lockney sweeps it back, and it's Alex Johnson with it. Lockhart now finds Lockney, left wing side with some room. Lockney elects to go all the way around the net, and 3 Bobcats collapse on him, and it's sent right out of play by Martin. Puck was on the back of the net and then sent over the glass. A potential delay of game penalty here. Prowlers are looking for it. We'll have more info when we come back. This is the Commissioner's Cup Playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Back here on the PHP Network, 8:34 to go in the first period. And as you can see below me, a sign saying play Prowlers hockey. That was the message from head coach Chris Paulin ahead of the game tonight after last night's win. Not satisfied, not happy. Message that resonated not just with the players, but with the fans. Lance Thorpe, one of our corporate sponsors at Thorpe Printing, was able to print this out, put this up today to try and give the guys a little extra boost. About to go on the power play. If they can play Prowlers hockey, chance to tie this up headed into the first intermission. Will, back to you.
Thank you, Brady. And that was a fun little surprise today that Lance was able to bring that banner in and hang it up, and it was a surprise for the guys as well. That's just what's been built here in Port Huron. People just want to be part of it, and it's been so awesome to help build this. We have a great crowd on hand tonight. Here's Price. The Prowlers work on the power play. Larkin straight away. Dietrich with a wrister blocked by Alvo. Dietrich cycled towards Millette. Dietrich scored a power play goal in the first period last night. Here he is. Got it to Millette, driving the cage, and Schrum able to make the stop. Price catches down to Millette. Dietrich now in that same spot, tried the same move. Price played it off the side of the net. And Dietrich went flying into Schrum along with the Bobcats defenseman. Everybody just now working their way back to their skates. That was Alvo who was in there as well. Let's take another look from our overhead cam. Dietrich drove the net and Alvo pushed Dietrich right into Schrum. Schrum seems to be all right. Both teams making changes here. 44 seconds into the Prowler power play. Again, see Alvo there shove Dietrich into Schrum. Now the other unit out there for the Prowlers. It's Johnson. Down to Graham in the corner. Head up, back to Johnson. Federley walks, gives down to Lockney. Lockney starts up top. Now to Hakala. Up to Federley, D to D. Johnson. Down to Graham, touch pass. Hakala stopped by Schrum. Graham looking. Try to float it all the way through. A split Lockney and Federley. It goes all the way down to Cooper's end. 45 seconds left in the power play. Millette, right wing side. That unit is back out there. Wraps it all the way around for Larkin to skate into. Back down low to Millette. Millette looking across. Alexander, one-timer. Missed just high. Larkin kept it in at the line with his boot. Larkin. Alexander on the far side. To the back, Larkin. Dietrich. Looking. Moving in. Dietrich lets it go. Stick save Schrum. Alexander now pinned by Erickson. Able to sweep it up to Larkin. Final seconds ticking off the power play. Price cuts in. Price gets to the slide. His shot off a Bobcat stick. And up out of play as Martin is out of the sin bin. The Prowlers power play 0 for 1. They still trail 1-0 in this series deciding game 3. Prowlers got credit for one shot on that man advantage. And this was it. They work back in the offensive zone now at 5-on-5. It's Cox skating out. Pass was behind Martin, and he is way offside. Had an easy call for the linesman. Referees tonight are Jonathan Sitarsky and Adam Fish, linesman Brandon Badens and Colin Pons. Face off at center. Martin won it back. Radchenko up the near side. Goes all the way to the far side and Prowler end. Federle takes it there. Federle tosses it in on Schrum, and he scoops it up and hangs on. 6:09 left in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. The only goal so far scored by Demid Petrezov, assisted by Hugo Koch and Carson Gallagher. And in case you're wondering why Hugo Koch is in this game, he was picked up off waivers by the Bobcats yesterday, signed today, and they allowed him to play. I'm not dusted up on the rule book, so I'm sure whatever transpired is allowed. Brett Lockhart over to Price, kicked off his skate. Now to Johnson. Lead pass, Alexander. Tried to send Price on his way, but pass just went off his stick. Lockhart for Johnson. Now to Price, tried to kick it along, couldn't do it. Here comes Koch, wheeling in. Tried to pass across, that was behind Petrezov. Johnson took a bump from Koch as he moved it. Lockhart ahead to Dietrich. He just slid it out of his own zone. Prowlers in the midst of a change. Here come the Bobcats. Daly working behind the net, trying to muscle off a couple of Prowlers. Reller put it in front, sent to the back. Rosenbaum floats it through off the end wall. Alvo pinches in to keep it deep. Favaro takes over for the Prowlers. Now it's Lockney. Goes back to Favaro. Favaro finds some room. Favaro walks in with a shot, just missed wide. Favaro again, and a save by Schrum. Alvo takes over. Favaro loves that one down at center. Hit Rosenbaum with the dump. Loose puck, Rosenbaum skates into it. He sends a man in, and missing high and wide was Reller, but Reller was offside, so it didn't matter. And now the Prowlers want after Reller. Erickson came over and threw a hit at Lockney. Bucel's after Erickson. Now Lockney and Erickson are the two that are tied up. Linesman separating them. And we will take a timeout. 4:39 left to go in period number 1. And it's still 1-0 Bobcats. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoff presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys, here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milkhouse gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milkhouse, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Tonight's Chippewa Laundromat washed-up player of the game is Stephen Alvo. Chippewa Laundromat, Port Huron's only multi-generational laundromat. Alvo was signed in February, didn't play anywhere this season before that. Spent the last 3 years in the SPHL. Was a 2023 SPHL champion with the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. And was a second-team All-Star last year. Came in to shore up the Bobcats' defense. He plays on a pairing with Rosenbaum, at least he has during this series. As Savaro sweeps it up the strong side to Federley. Radchenko chased by Hakala. Lead pass, Stuckless. Kept it moving because Zverev couldn't bring it in clean. Hakala looks to move up with it. Over to Federley. Federley flips it right on Schrum. And he gloves it and hangs on. .4:13 left in period one. Face-off will be to Schrum's left here. Reggie Millette was having an extended conversation with Michael Mercurio and a couple other Bobcats. Now Millette will take the face-off against Mercurio. Comes to the boards. Zverev skates into it. Chips it around Parsons. Oregon comes over to grab it. Now to Bucell. Left wing side, Dietrich cuts in. Dietrich stops up. Tried to give it over to Oregon on the near side. Ended up in the near corner. Puck pins between Mercurio and Bucell's skates. Finally dug free. And up comes St. Pierre. He sends it in. Bobcats in the midst of a change. Dietrich spins off a check. Got it ahead to Bucell, who tipped it in. Eriksson went tumbling as he tried to hit Bucell. Lavak looking. Fed it ahead over towards Koch, but out of his reach. And icing called against the Bobcats. 3:21 left to go in period number one. There's that little reverse hit you'll see in a moment from Jamie Bucell. As Eriksson came over to hit him, and Bucell just sidestepped him enough to send the big Robin Eriksson tumbling. 6'3", 225 pounds, the Sweden native, who wrapped it around towards his countryman Koch. Near side, it's Favaro, but he couldn't handle it cleanly. Price to the net, fought off by Schrum. Now Martin stops behind the cage. Lavak tossed out. Gallagher gloves it down, and then Koch was the next to play it, so that's a hand pass against the Blue Ridge Bobcats with under 3 to go in period one. Faceoff will come down over by the Bobcats end. Millette will draw against Petrezov. Bucell swept it back for Lockhart. He gets the red line, bangs it in. Rosenbaum had it go through, and then Dietrich finished his check on Rosenbaum. Dietrich trying to find the puck. Sidestepped a hit from Rosenbaum. And now Alvo takes it out of the scrum. To the left wing side. Daly hustles after it along with Johnson. Lockhart chopped at it, got to Millette. Daly threw his body into Reggie Millette. Millette looking for an option, he goes backwards to Johnson. Now Lockhart or Bucell. Millette couldn't work in 1-on-2 as he couldn't bring in the pass cleanly. Rosenbaum gets back to it. And Millette finishes his check on Rosenbaum. Here comes Mercurio. Parsons fell down. Mercurio stopped by the catching glove of Reed Cooper. Coming up in the first intermission report right here on the PHP Network, we'll have highlights and analysis from that first period. Also talk about some storylines from around the FPHL, the out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up on the PHP Network. Here's a great look at that hit from Millette down at ice level. Off this drop, Parsons wraps it around. Hakala couldn't make a play on it because Zverev tried to dangle through. Parsons wheels around the net. Off the glass and out. Federley hustling to it. Hakala going towards the net. Federley tried to force it through to Hakala. Now cycle to Graham. Graham looking for an option. Hands off to Larkin, pinching it. Sharp angle try, and Schrum has it. With 91 seconds left to go in period number 1. Shots 8-7 Prowlers, as they've picked things up in the back half of this first period after giving up that power play goal. Gallagher won it back. Eriksson tried to fire it off the boards and out, couldn't do it. Puck skitters over to the far side. Koch taken out by Alexander. Here comes Slovak jumping into the play. Though Slovak with a shot steered to the corner by Cooper. Alexander now chips it around Eriksson and out. Now DeCumbus steals it from Martin. Prowlers have numbers. Alexander ripped it wide, trying to go low. Now Price in front, and Schrum prevented that from getting through to Vinny DeCumbus, who is on the back post. This one goes all the way down, and Lockhart beats Martin in the race for icing. Orion Alexander had a glorious chance and just couldn't put it on goal. Take another look at this opportunity. DeCumbus won a battle here, and then Alexander just fired it wide. The Bobcats clatter it all the way around, and no icing. So play continues. Koch cut off a clear attempt from Johnson. Gallagher pinned behind the net. Bucell for Lockhart with 27 to go in the period. Johnson got it ahead to Dietrich. He lost it for a moment. Bucell starts ahead. Bucell over to Millette. Right wing side, back in front. Game all the way through. Larkin steps to it. Had his shot towards the net blocked. 10 seconds left in the period. Dietrich over to Favaro with 5. Favaro just tosses it in. Glove down by Alvo. Batted out of the zone. And that will do it for 20 minutes of play in this series deciding Game 3. The Bobcats get a power play goal from Demid Podrazov, and they have a 1-0 lead. Shots on goal in that period favored the Prowlers 9-8. And our Brady Beaton is now standing alongside Prowlers captain Austin Federley.
Down here on the ice with Prowlers captain Austin Federley. Fetz, what'd you see in those first 20 minutes on the ice?
War, hey, like you saw right off the hop. Both teams really want this game. It's gonna come down to whoever wants it more, who's more physical, who's more disciplined. And I think in the long run, I think we're gonna be that team.
How long does it take for those pregame jitters to go away and just get into the flow of playing hockey?
Oh, for this one, it's right away, right? You see bodies flying everywhere. It looked like a wrestling match for the first 2 shifts. But, you know, it's Game 3. There's no jitters anymore.
What's the message going to be up in the locker room this intermission?
Stay focused, stay disciplined. Don't let your emotions get too high and pull you in spots you don't want to be in.
Well, Fetz, I really appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Brady.
Will, back up to you.
Thank you, Brady. Brady will join me in just a few minutes for our first intermission report here on the PHP Network, as Austin Federley and the Prowlers will have to come from behind tonight. They did it in Game 3 last year in Danbury, but they will have to do it again if they are to win this series and advance to the semifinals. Of course, the Binghamton Black Bears are awaiting the winner of this one. Once again, coming up in that first intermission report right here on the PHP Network, highlights and analysis from that first 20 minutes. Also, take a look at some storylines from around the FPHL, the out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. Have you checked out the Prowlers team store? It's located on the southwest end of McMorran Arena, or online anytime at shop.phprowlers.com. You can also scan that QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. And now I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm not a Prowlers fan. I don't want Prowlers gear. That's all right. If you're a fan of any team in the FPHL, we have stuff with your team's logo on it. We have full league shirts, pints, and pucks. We have divisional pucks from this season as well. So check it out. Again, shop.phprowlers.com or scan that QR code on your screen right now to visit the best store in the FPHL. Prowlers trailing the Bobcats 1-0 through 20 minutes of play in this winner-take-all Game 3. We'll talk about it when we come back here on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Hey, Spike, my hip meds are costing a fortune. My humans are stressed, and they're pretending it's fine.
You're not alone, Max. My humans are cutting back on my flea and tick meds.
Ugh, tell me about it. My Thyroid pills were draining the kibble fund until we found Global Pharmacy Plus.
Online stores? Are they actually cheaper?
Way cheaper. They save my humans 40% or more compared to those other big online sites.
My humans can finally afford on premium treats again!
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, and we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here at McMorran Place, 20 minutes down, and the Bobcats have a 1-0 lead in the winner-take-all game number 3 of this quarterfinal series. Will Wiggleman, Brady Beaton here with you up in the booth. And Brady, a slow start again for the Prowlers in that first period. They did pick it up towards the end, but they do give up the early goal.
Yeah, and it's a dirty one, right? It's one where there's a lot of traffic out in front, and those are the ones that win it. I mean, Will, how many playoff games have you seen with this team now, and how many goals are just things of beauty, right? Not a lot, unless you get a breakaway like Reggie did with half the ice in front of him. No, I mean, this is how Blue Ridge has come out every game. The difference between Wednesday and last night was the Prowlers responded last night, and that Reggie goal completely shifted the momentum. Wednesday, they never were really able to dictate the pace. They were last night on Friday. It's going to be the second period response is going to be the big one. Listen, this game's not going to end 1-0. The question's going to be who makes that next play or who makes that next mistake, because it was Blue Ridge that made a couple of mistakes that the Prowlers pounced on last night. That might be the biggest difference, is not who makes the play, but who doesn't make the mental error.
Well, let's take a look back at that goal, a power play goal for Blue Ridge. And, the assist goes to, and I thought it might have been the goal scorer, Hugo Koch, who is a guy that we didn't think would be playing in this series, but you see the puck is kind of bounce around down low, and Podrezov puts it in front. I think it goes underneath Cooper, may have hit his left leg, and then bounced in. We'll get a good look here on the overhead cam.
It almost hits that top of the left pad and just trickles in. I mean, that's why they say put pucks on net. You get a dirty one like that. And the Prowlers haven't been able to really get anything to get this crowd on their feet. Like, well, every fan here last night was 100% invested. You could hear it. It was being on the bench. It was as loud as it's ever been. They want to pop off. They want to blow the roof off this place. When the Prowlers get that first goal, that's what it's going to be. And I think that's going to drive the momentum for Blue Ridge. Their best course of action, keep this crowd out of it. So, hey, I understand if they decline a fight, because that's advantage Prowlers, advantage home team. Got to keep the crowd out of it. Blue Ridge did a good job in the first period. It's up to the Prowlers to get them involved here in the second.
And let's talk about the Hugo Koch of it all, because he was selected on. So here's what we know. I was told by Brett Wiseman, the Blue Ridge broadcaster, that there was some kind of an exemption from the league to allow Koch to play. The facts are that he was selected off of waivers yesterday ahead of Game 2. He was signed today ahead of Game 3. And now he's inserted into the lineup. I don't believe any other roster move was made by the Bobcats to change their roster. Indeed, no other roster move made by Blue Ridge to their active roster unless it wasn't put down on the transactions page on the league website. So you have a guy who played 52 games this season with 2 other teams, and now here he is in the playoffs playing for the Blue Ridge Bobcats.
Yeah, interesting is a good way to put it. I know Blue Ridge made a couple of transactions back on the 14th. They released 2 guys. I can only imagine that was in anticipation of bringing one on at this point. I can't say I remember anything like this following this team since they've been here. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but, maybe before a series, I don't know if I've ever seen the mercenary come in for Game 3, because you claim him after Game 2. I'm guessing he was traveling all day yesterday. That is a unique situation that, I didn't even know was on the table.
And again, according to the Bobcats media team, that was because of an exception that he is allowed to play tonight. They have guys like Nick McHugh who are unable to go from what I've been told. But the Prowlers did have their opportunities, as you mentioned, and they got close, but no cigar a few times in that first period. There's the first one from Austin Federley, and again, few good opportunities, and And there were some on both sides, as both Reed Cooper and Anthony Schrum had to make some good saves.
Oh, yeah, Schrum, I mean, here's another one. Doing a nice job moving across. This is the one where I really thought they were going to have it. It looked like it was broken up. Graham did a nice job sticking with it, just able to paddle it aside. But, hey, Schrum's a pretty strong goalie, and it's all the more puzzling why they went away from him in Game 2. But he's kind of picked up. I know he played all right in that third period. He didn't face a ton of shots, but he's made some big-time saves here in this one. He's playing with some confidence.
So Anthony Schrum keeping the Prowlers off the board in that first period. There's the chance for Alexander. I'm not sure if Schrum even got a piece of that one, but Prowlers had a power play, and they worked it around for a good bit, and this was the only shot credited to Port Huron on that man advantage, belonging to Grayson Dietrich. Here was the best chance of the period for the Prowlers, I guess, save for the Brett Lockhart one that got whistled back because of the penalty. Ryan Alexander just misses. Not sure if Schrum got a piece of it or not, but that was a great chance for Alexander, still looking for his first pro goal.
Yeah, standing on the opposite end by the players' entrance, it looked like he just pushed it wide. Tried to get a little too fine with it. And, you know, in the first period, 1-0 game, I don't mind you trying to find that corner. Hey, if it's 3 minutes left to go in the third, maybe you try to put it on net and create something. In the first, yeah, you got a lot of hockey left. You have a nice lane, and you just missed a little aim small, miss small, and, well, he missed small.
Well, Alexander just missed it by that much. It's still a 1-0 Bobcats lead, but last night we did see that second period be the Prowlers' best period.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's really going to be determined in the first 5 minutes here. You know, I can tell you it's a little testy going back into the locker room. Emotions are high. I mean, you heard Austin Federley say it. Hey, it's a war out there. I mean, they're battling. Guys are going to be selling out for whatever they can. Blue Ridge looking for their first series win. I mean, they have a lot to play for. The Prowlers, I mean, all season, Will, I know it hasn't been said, but the prevailing thought is they've wanted another shot at Binghamton, right? And they want to right the wrongs of last year. Well, they have to get through this one to get a chance to go at the defending champs. So I think more than anything, that's what they're looking for, and that's the emotion. And, well, looking to play Prowlers hockey. I'm sure that's the refrain going on up in the locker room.
Prowlers hockey, that's the phrase of the day. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll have the FPHL storylines, the out-of-town scores, and we'll get the puck dropped on period number 2 of Game 3 of this best of 3. This is the Commissioner's Cup Playoffs, presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorrin experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
On Prowlers hockey is presented by Proper 12. Shot. Back here at McMorrin Place, it is 1-0 Bobcats. We're just minutes away from the start of period number 2. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Before we get back to this one, let's take a look around the FPHL. We start with our Thumb Rust Control FPHL storylines, and really they're just kind of recaps of the playoff games from last night around the league. How about the PD Ice Cats? 8-2 over the Athens Rock Lobsters in Athens in game number 1. So the Ice Cats go home for game 2. Game 3 will be in Athens if necessary, as the Rock Lobsters are the top seed in the Continental Division. But the Ice Cats become the first 4 seed to win a playoff game since the FPHL went to the Continental and Empire Division. So it's such a big achievement there for the Ice Cats that now they get to go home and have a chance in front of their own fans to finish it off. And I don't think that a team that's a lower seed in a series has ever been able to win a series at home, at least in this divisional format. So a big opportunity here for the Ice Cats to continue to make FPHL history against the top team in the Continental. Binghamton Black Bears advanced to the semifinals. They cruised to a 6-2 win over the Topeka Scarecrows at home. Stephen Klink went down in the first period for Topeka, and well, that made their hopes slim, took their hopes from slim to none, and the Bears continue their title defense. They have only lost one game over the last 3 playoffs, including this one. That was here at McMorran Place in last year's semifinals, game number 1. The River Dragons crushed the Monroe Moccasins 8-3 last night in game 1 of that series. Series will ship to Monroe tonight to get the rest of it, as both games 2 and potentially 3 will be in Monroe at the Snake Pit. 8-3 the final for the River Dragons, so the Moccasins need to win both at home to continue on. They finished second in the Continental Division, but man, they were right there battling with the Rock Lobsters for the top spot up until the last weekend of the season, and now both of those teams might be out without winning a single game. Those are your FPHL storylines presented by Thumb Rust Control LLC. Now let's look at our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. And just one other game has dropped the puck so far. And how about them Ice Cats? 3-0 PD as they are wrapping up period 1 in Florence. What is going on to the Athens Rock Lobsters right now? They look unbeatable at times this season, but the Ice Cats have found a way. They have found something, and PD is on an absolute roll right now. Elijah Wilson, Houston Wilson, and Drew Welsh have the goals for the Ice Cats in period number 1. Dropping the puck in just about 5 minutes from now, the Columbus River Dragons are in Monroe to visit the Moccasins, and that will be the game number 2 of that series. River Dragons can end it tonight. Moccasins trying to stay alive for a home game 3 tomorrow. Of course, here it's 1-0 Bobcats through 20 minutes of play. The out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Turning our attention back to this game, we take a look at our Gunther Graphics game stats. And the Prowlers outshot the Bobcats 9-8 in that opening period. Special teams a factor in that first frame. As there's our DJ, he's behind the graphic, but our Gunther Graphics game stats here. Bobcats scored on their only power play goal, their only power play chance. Prowlers went 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Both teams getting set to hit the ice here. We're about a minute away from scheduled puck drop, although the only people out there right now are the men in stripes and Aiden Vision, our roaming camera, as we await the Bobcats to exit their locker room and come out of the tunnel. Again, hopefully just seconds away from the start of the second period. There you see Brandon Badens, the linesman, trying to coax the Bobcats out of their locker room. Port Huron needs to find something here in the second. See if they can beat Shrum for the first time tonight. They scored 3 times on him on Wednesday and then got 1 on 5 shots last night when Shrum came in relief. And finally, here come the Blue Ridge Bobcats to a chorus of boos from the McMorran faithful. Let out by Anthony Shrum, 9 saves on 9 Prowler shots in the opening 20 minutes. And soon to be followed by the Prowlers here. And here come the Prowlers. Reed Cooper leads Port Huron out 7 saves on 8 Bobcat shots in that opening 20. Who will it be for Port Huron to find the first goal? Could it be that guy who has 3 goals and 4 points? Both of them lead Port Huron in these playoffs. That's Reggie Millette. Ben Brockway getting the fellas fired up on the bench. We're moments away from the start of period number 2. We thank you so much for tuning back in with us here on the PHP Network for Commissioners Cup Playoff Hockey. It is Millette's line that starts for Port Huron. Pedrazov's line begins for Blue Ridge. And now they're opening doors down at the Zamboni end. Looks like a cord got caught in the door. Uh-oh, stanchion down. This is getting messy. They have a bit of a delayed start to this second period as our great McMorran staff works to get that stanchion back in place. Looks like we're all set. We can shut the doors and begin period number 2. Once again, this is a winner-take-all game number 3 in this best-of-3 quarterfinal series. Bobcats won game 1 at home on Wednesday. Prowlers took game 2 here in this building last night. Adam Fish ready to drop the puck between Reggie Millette and Brandon Reller. And we continue in game 3. Alvo off the end wall to his defense partner Rosenbaum. Tipped ahead, here comes Reller, flying in, Reller, kick save by Cooper. Millette gets it out to Bucell, chips it around Rosenbaum. Here comes Bucell with an outside shot blocked by Pedrazov. Lands in the corner, Bucell took a hit. And now it's Pedrazov to the near side. Reller with a sharp angle try from the outside, shouldered away by Cooper, and now it's Dietrich with a counter. His pass knocked out of the air. Federley just dumps it in. Slovak up the far side. Koch trying to play away from Austin Federley. Here comes Hugo Koch. Wheeling. Koch hands it off to Martin. Backpedal, shoots, and another save made by Cooper. Gallagher up to the point. Erickson, D to D. Wrist shot blocked by Lockney, up out of play. As Blue Ridge, for the second straight period, has a strong start right out of the gates. There's the first chance for Reller. Guy with some deceptive speed for his size. And the kick save made by Cooper. And then the second chance for Reller. He got a nice shot from the outside, and that time with the shoulder. Reed Cooper able to make the save. Tecumseh waiting for the puck. Gets it out. Alexander trying to skate into it. He's cut off by Koch. They tie up. Tecumseh takes the puck for Price on his backhand. Alexander inside. Stopped by Schrum, and he covers. Novak is on top of Alexander in the goal crease. They'll have to be pulled apart here, and now they are, as Ryan Alexander still hunting for that first pro goal. Stopped by Anthony Schrum that time. Nice play, Price to Alexander. Didn't get much on the shot. Good stick by Hlavak there. Prowlers an offensive zone face-off. Graham taking it against Mercurio. Graham won it back, but they say something was unfair. I think the Bobcats jumped early. Somebody on that far wing got a false start, and Mercurio asked to leave the face-off. Instead, Stuckless will take it. Stuckless able to win it away from Graham. Radchenko to Kazirev, bounces it out. Johnson and Mercurio get there together. Federley hustling back to the loose puck. Couldn't get it up to Lockney as Stuckless was there. Lockhart puts it back over to the corner. Kazirev up top. Quick shot off a body and wide. Mercurio put it in front, went all the way through to the far boards. Lockney taken in. Radchenko with a wrister. Hit Mercurio on the way through. And now it's Johnson. Lead pass. Graham got a touch on it. St. Pierre flags it down in his end. Reverse for Radchenko. That deflection hit Organ in the mouth. Organ's hustling over to the Prowler bench. Meanwhile, Millette keeps the puck in. Got it down low to Dietrich. Dietrich took a check from Daly. Dietrich's lost his stick. And the Bobcats able to work it out. Here comes Andrioli. Hustling after his own dump. Andrioli up high to Alvo. His stick failed him as he tried to clap it on net. And now it's Dietrich dangling by. Hakala has Millette. He shoots and a kick save made by Schrum. Millette was taken out of the play on the other side by Andrioli. Favaro tried to slide it ahead, couldn't find Price. Alvo, D to Rosenbaum. He starts up the right wing, gets the red line. Larkin partially blocked down his dump. Larkin able to sweep it up the boards to Decumbis. Trying to escape. Gallagher pulls right back in, and he lost it. On the counter, it's Decumbis with Millette. Decumbis speeding in. Forced off by Slovak. Millette finds the puck. Tied up by two Bobcats. Decumbis pulls it out of the scrum. Gallagher took it from Vinny Decumbis. And now here comes Blue Ridge with a potential 3-on-2. Koch driving the net. Good poke by Cooper. Sent back on goal. Blocked by Graham. Graham tries to send Price ahead. Price hustles to the puck. Left it in the corner. Koch was the first one there. Price back in the battle. Federley able to pull it out, swept it in front looking for Graham. Lockhart stepped up. Price, turnaround try, knocked down by Schrum. And the rebound comes all the way out to Stuckless. 4 minutes gone in period 2. High energy, high pace, lots of action. Up tipped in by Graham. Erickson gets there ahead of Federley, moved it around the wall. Lockney cuts it off. Up comes Kazirev, got it to Stuckless. Try to go back to Nikita Kazirev. Oregon left it for his defense partner Parsons. Slid it ahead to Alexander. Ryan Alexander wheels in. Knocked off his stick. He retrieves in the corner, goes low to high. Oregon back down low, comes all the way around. Lockney cycles, Decumbis in front. Came all the way through. Oregon and Mercurio canceled out, so here comes St. Pierre with Kazirev. St. Pierre slows up, trailers Mercurio. He has it and could only slide it on net. Good stick by the Prowlers. Port Huron has iced the puck here. Actually, no. This was knocked down by a high stick, they say, so maybe no icing here. I believe the Prowlers will be allowed to change, and this faceoff might be down in the Bobcats' end. It is. They say it was knocked down by the high stick of a Bobcat. Here's the earlier chance for Hakala. Nice pad save from Schrum. Rebound was there. But nobody in a red sweater could get to it. Schrum having a conversation with Johnson Satarski, the referee. He's satisfied, and now we're ready to go. But Drazov won it back. Alvo pushed it around to the near side. Favaro took it from Reller. Favaro in front. Bucell couldn't get it to go. Favaro again. Over to Millette. Wrister hard off the back wall. Larkin pinched in on Andrioli. Rosenbaum now. Fake the high flip. Goes around to Alvo. Back to Rosenbaum. He fanned on a clearing attempt. Kept in. Millette has Dietrich got it there! And he just missed wide, trying to go back against the grain. Larkin. D Favaro with a blast! He's stopped by Schramm. Favaro again. Down to Millette. Whips it across. Larkin. Down low for Bucell. Millette has it behind the cage. He's pinned by a stickless Rosenbaum. Alvo takes over. Played it to an area for Andrioli, who just pitchforks it only as far as the line, and it's poked out by Pedrazov. Prowlers look to work right back in. Dietrich to Millette on the left wing. All 5 Bobcats back. Organ walks back to Dietrich. Tried to float it across, came through to Parsons. He sends it all the way down low. Hakelet on the forecheck. Turns down to Millette in tight. Couldn't get it to go. Millette tried to bank it. That didn't work. Puck lands behind the cage. Millette tried to sweep it in front. That hit Pedrazov's skate and went out the other side. Millette again. Swung it in front. They score! Lochte has tied it! Prowlers keeping the puck down deep, and it's Lucas Lochte on the back door off the pass from Reggie Millette. There's the one that went off of Pedrazov's skate, and this building has exploded. First of the playoffs for Lochte. The Section 9 conga line is going. The crowd's into it now. And we'll see if the Prowlers can feed off this. As Alexander works back in. Sidestep the check from Radchenko. Right on goal. Saved by Schramm. To Kumbis. Radchenko. Got it to Martin. He had it taken away. Alexander surrounded. Gallagher forced it up the strong side. Koch is breaking. Johnson gloved down the clearing attempt. Price turns it back in. Cross corner dub. Well, at least that was the intention. Instead, he went over the glass out of play. He was in the neutral zone, so no delay of game. We will get a timeout. McMorran Place has exploded. Lucas Lochte has tied Game 3 at 1. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoff presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. Looking for a pregame meal? Zip Sauce Burger is located in the Industrial Park Marathon. Zip Sauce, the official burger of the Port Huron Prowlers. Well, we talked about it in the first intermission. The Bobcats needed to keep this crowd out of it as long as possible. They didn't even last 7 minutes into period 2. And what a shift from the Prowlers. Started with Millette's line, and they started getting the change going. And Arttu Heikkilä took the puck away, set up another couple of opportunities, just kept the Bobcats hemmed in, and eventually it was Millette to Lockney on the back door. And Reggie Millette has his 5th point of these playoffs. St. Pierre tried to bounce it past Graham, couldn't do it cleanly. Delayed offsides here, now the Prowlers are good. St. Pierre looking ahead, has Stuckless trying to step around Federley. Stuckless wheels into the right wing side, Mercurio. Backhander knocked down and held by Cooper as Stuckless got a piece. Now Stuckless and Larkin exchanging shoves. I think it was Stuckless who actually got a piece of this one. Mercurio put it back on net. Now, if that did go in, it would have been interesting if somebody may have challenged for a high stick, or even if the refs would have just looked at it for a high stick, because it looked a little bit high there from Stuckless, but Cooper made the save, no harm, no foul, and we continue. Although hustling after this one, it's an icing against Port Huron. .11 left to go in period 2. There is a Bobcats contingent somewhere in there. You see a couple of cowbells raised there, a few sections over from our camera, but they made the trip here from Virginia. They're trying to get their guys back into it. Alvo gets the red line, wraps it into Prowler territory. Johnson let it go through. Lockhart pushed it to the far side. Daly gets there first for Blue Ridge. Pedre's up, looking in front, and knocked away by Alexander. As Andrioli was on the other, was supposed to be on the receiving end of that pass. Andrioli's shot blockered by Cooper. Price tries to spin off a check of Andrioli. Got it to Alexander. Tecumseh is without a stick as he gave up his to Lockhart. Alexander sweeps it into the offensive end. Prowlers get a full change here. Bucell line, Favaro and Larkin out there right now for the Prowlers. Fresh off the bench as Andrioli dumps it around. Millette gets there ahead of Daly. Favaro played it into the corner. Martin low to high. Erickson let it go. That was blocked on the way through. Larkin pokes it around to the far side. Dietrich drags. Here comes Dietrich. Looking, dropping, and only found Koch. Millette chasing Hugo Koch. Martin back towards Koch. Pass was in his skates, and the Prowlers take back over. Larkin, rink wide for Favaro. Erickson now. Off the far wall. Larkin on it again. Over to Favaro. Now Bucell. Larkin skates ahead. Tosses it in, sends Bucell after it. Bucell and Erickson come together. Bucell twisting and turning. Now Lavak. Lead pass tipped up out of play. Off the stick of Brian Parsons. 10:13 left to go in period 2, and fans want to know where that puck went. There's the earlier chance for Petrezov trying to find Andrioli, and Ryan Alexander just got in the shooting lane. Face-off will be at center ice here. Alexander and Mercurio there to take it. Mercurio won it back. Radchenko at the red line, sends it in deep. Kozirev, Mercurio, missed wide by a couple of feet. Radchenko with a blast. Wide, Mercurio trying to put it back on net. Now go back to St. Pierre. He floats it through, save. Cooper on the deflected shot with Stuckless right in front. Price goes a check on Kozirev. Comes around to the near side. Mercurio gave it away to Lockhart, who banks it off the wall and out. Mercurio touched it back in. Lockhart swept it ahead to Dietrich fresh off the bench. Comes Dietrich, cutting across the middle. Dietrich left the puck behind. battling with Stuckless to get it back. Sent back up to Dietrich. Has Millette coming off the bench. Dietrich works downhill. Had his stick lifted, and Radchenko slid as well. Here comes Reller, working on Organ. Reller had his pass go off a Prowler skate. Now Bucell with speed. Bucell dangles. Bucell stopped by Schramm. Back the other way, it's Reller with a head of steam. Reller outside, shot blocked. And the other way comes Lockney. Federley backpedals. Millette works to his backhand. Turns. Fires it on goal. Juggled by Schramm. He couldn't hold it. Federley and Rosenbaum after it by the Zamboni door. Moved around near side. Larkin pinches in. Larkin on goal. Caromed over to the corner. Lockney tried to put it back in front. Nobody home for the Prowlers. And Favaro regroups in neutral ice. Up to Graham. Graham looking for an option. Sends it across to DeCumbis. In front. Couldn't find a teammate. Graham recovers. Graham to DeCumbis. Lets it go, and a save made by Schramm with the pad. Koch moved it out. Lockhart back right up to Price. Price drags and shoots and missed wide. Price trying to get back to it. Lockhart sent it down low in Graham's direction. Alvo off the glass, got it out. And Johnson retreats. Sent back in, no icing. Hakala gets there ahead of Alvo. Popped it out towards Bucell. Couldn't get a good touch on Hakala in tight. Couldn't get it to go, but he will get a power play for his team as he was knocked down by Steven Alvo. Power play Prowlers. When we come back, game 3 tied at 1. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Just over 7.5 to go here on the PHP Network. In the second period, 1-1. Your Prowlers have tied it up, and Will, we talked about it in the intermission. This place just needed a reason to cheer, and that last goal, they were circling the wagons, finally got one. You're starting to feel that similar buildup, about to go on a power play. The vibes are up on the bench, the vibes are up on the crowd. Another one, and well, McBourne might need a new roof. Will, back to you.
Thank you, Brady. Prowlers 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. They send out Ryan Alexander's unit. Philip Levac sends the puck all the way down. And they'll start over. Larkin to the left wing side. Alexander wheels around Levac. Stops up. Port Huron sets up. Dietrich under pressure from Mercurio is able to kick it out. Nice play from Michael Mercurio. Larkin goes behind, or thought about going behind his net. Now he skates ahead. Larkin over to his left to Alexander. Dietrich collects the loose puck. Tried to sweep it in front. Couldn't find a teammate. That's as good as a Bobcat clear. Port Huron starting to switch up the unit. Minute 10 left in their power play. Larkin to his right. Graham couldn't bring the pass in. And now Blue Ridge has a chance to waste some time. They send it back down to the Port Huron end. Up comes Graham. just chips it around Daly. Radchenko gets there first, and he turns and fires it all the way down. Not much getting started on this Prowlers power play. Federley. Working in. And it's sent right back out. The Prowlers struggle to gain entry. Hakola will try again, and only 21 seconds left on the power play. Lockney gets in, but offside at the line as Lucas Lockney moved laterally with the puck. Well, the Prowlers are on the ice, so grab a glass of Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Proper 12, the official shot of the Port Huron Prowlers. Who's that on your right? Aiden Vision, showing you the Proper 12 bottle. Biggest one I've seen in Port Huron. 17 seconds on the Prowlers' man advantage. Have really not gotten much of anything going. And Hlavak sends it all the way down again. Alvo set to step out. Prowlers go shotless on this power play. Here's Alexander with a shot that's blocked. Kept behind the net, batted up the wall. Millette looking, hands it off for Alexander, who took a bump, kept on chugging. Bryce at the top, sent it through, stick save Schrum. Now Hlavak goes off the glass, they try and stretch it out. Larkin for Alexander, has to wait for his teammates to exit the offensive zone. He just dumps it in. Port Huron looking to start a change. Mercurio with all kinds of skating room. In with speed, Mercurio with a shot off a Prowler stick and up out of play as Brian Parsons was tracking Michael Mercurio. 5:03 left in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers with the only goal of this frame. Lucas Lockney from Reggie Millette and R2 Hakola. This has been playoff hockey all night long. And thank you so much for tuning in, no matter who you root for. Daly lined up right behind Pedrazov for the faceoff, but it's tied up by Lockney. At the point, Rosenbaum slid it down low. Pedrazov up to Rosenbaum, D to D. Alvo lets it go hard off the end wall, lands on the side of the cage. It's stuck there, and now it comes off. Parsons gets away from a Bobcat, and now Graham able to toss it ahead. Alvo swept it up the near side wall, kept in by Lockney. Down to Graham, looking in front, tried to bank it off of Schrum's stick, and that almost worked well. Cooper all the way out in the corner to play it. He hands off for Parsons. Up to Hakola. R2 Hakola. Tried to dangle through. Dietrich with it on his backhand. Dietrich trying to drive the net. Muscled off by Radchenko. Radchenko has the puck now. He played it off of St. Pierre's skate, and that was an adventure. Dietrich finishes his check on Radchenko. Martin tossed it ahead, glove down by Johnson. Bucell couldn't drag it around Radchenko. He left the puck behind. Here comes Martin, working to the middle. The shot gobbled up and covered by Cooper. We'll take a timeout. 3:43 left in period two. Tied up at 1 in the game and the series. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Port Huron, 3:43 left to go in period 2. Prowlers spirit getting the crowd going here at McMorran Place. Shots 22-17 for the game in favor of Port Huron, 13-9 in this period. Bobcats won the shot battle in each of the first 2 games. But all that matters is what's on the scoreboard. Just one on each side. Alexander won the draw back, but Martin gets to it first. Swept up high, but missed his intended target, Levac. Schrum out to play it away from the oncoming Price. Erickson twisting away from Price. Up the far boards, Koch to Martin, kicked off his skate, and Larkin takes over for the Prowlers. Favaro. That's the red line. Sandwiched, but here comes Alexander. Back towards Price, and a back-checking Bobcat got a piece of that. That was Gallagher. Koch tosses it into himself in the corner. Hugo Koch around the net, sent it in front. Gallagher was there, couldn't get a touch on it. Levac down to Gallagher. Gallagher turning on Larkin. Carson Gallagher couldn't sweep it down low. Larkin gets it to Alexander, has some room to skate. Alexander gets in. Alexander shoots, and it's fought off by Schrum. Got it with the arm. Johnson back down and around. It's Levac swinging it back towards Alex Johnson. Took a funny hop along the half wall. And Federley retreats in his own end. Long lead pass to Lockney, fresh off the bench. Has 3 Bobcats around him. The puck is deep in Blue Ridge's territory. Graham now with it. Graham up top. Lockhart a blast. Saves Schrum. And the rebound bounce past Lockney. Lockhart again. Sharp angle try was stopped. And it caromed all the way out of the zone. Lockney couldn't bring in the pass. Levac gets it down and around. It's Johnson, had it poked away, Kazirev fed it out, and Mercurio misfired. St. Pierre, the shot, pin balls and in! It finds its way in, and the Bobcats take the lead back. Reed Cooper is incensed. He thought he was interfered with, and the referees are going to have a conversation. And it looks like they're just going to look at this one immediately. Adam Fish, the referee, is on the iPad taking a look. See if we can see it here. There's a Bobcat all over Cooper. Lockhart's there as well. It's Kazirev all over Reed Cooper. And it's an official review, not a coach's challenge. And you think back to Danbury last year in Game 3, the Bobcats, or the Hat Tricks took a 3-1 lead. Chris Paulin called for a coach's challenge. It came back, and the Prowlers ended up winning that game to advance. See if we get a good look on it on our reverse angle here. Lockhart falling down. Kazirev was in there. And a long review as they look at it from the overhead angle and whatever other angles they might have available down there. We talk about a crucial moment in the game, a crucial moment in the series. This, the decisive Game 3. The winner of this game will advance. No doubt Kazirev made contact with Cooper. But the question is, did that prevent Cooper from making the save? Another look at it from the overhead. I'll let the people at home decide. The look continues here. And now we have our decision. No goal! Take it off the board, we're still tied. Bobcats fans started marching in front of Section 9, and now Section 9 is giving it right back to them. Waved off. And we continue in a tie hockey game, 1:47 left in the second period. Mercurio getting the explanation from Jonathan Satarski there. Face-off will be outside of the zone. Mercurio can't believe it. Well, the Prowlers still with a chance to take the lead before the end of this period rather than trying to tie the game. It's Alvo for Rosenbaum. Fed it up, Daly off his skate, got it to Pedrazov. Working in, his shot missed wide on the short side. Price comes back for it, all the way around the net. Bobby Price thinks it back for Favaro. Favaro gets it back from his defense partner Larkin. Indirect feed to Dietrich. Tried to swing it to DeCumbis, couldn't find him. Larkin off the boards to Alexander. Whips it across to DeCumbis. Dietrich working in, they got it to him, and he's stopped by Schramm. Dietrich takes Andrioli in. Now up comes Blue Ridge in the final minute of the second. Drop pass, intercepted and cleared by Bucell. Cooper stops the dump behind his cage. Johnson skates into it. Ahead to Dietrich. Bumped it off the boards. Martin the first one there. Johnson hustles to the puck ahead of Koch. Lockhart. Long lead pass as Dietrich, who had a step. And now Lovak going after Dietrich. Those two tie up behind the net. That puck just bounced over Grayson Dietrich's stick. It would have a glorious opportunity. And now Bucell tied up with Koch. Bucell roughing up Hugo Koch. Robin Eriksson jumps in, or at least tried to. The linesmen now get over to separate Koch and Bucell. Bucell fought Stephen Alvo last night. That really got the crowd going. And the crowd loving this one as well. Koch in the penalty box. Bucell has headed up to the locker room. You saw those two started getting into it away from that original scrum. There was Eriksson jumping in. Eriksson had to be careful he didn't get a third man in. Something along those lines if he jumped at Bucell. I think he walked that line well enough. Adam Fish giving the explanation to Austin Federley and Daniel Martin. 2 minutes are up on each side with 29 seconds left in period 2. Well, coming up in this second intermission report right here on the PHP Network, we'll have highlights and analysis from this game so far, Keely's corner, the out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Face-off will be outside the Blue Ridge end to begin the 4-on-4. Millette drawing against Martin. Millette, Price, Favaro, and Larkin out there for the Prowlers. Martin, Hlavak, Erickson, and Gallagher, who they stretch the puck to for Blue Ridge. Gallagher, double teamed, able to work out of it. Here comes Carson Gallagher on his backhand, harassed by Price. Gallagher across, one-timer. Erickson goes hard off the end wall. Larkin trying to keep it on the back of the cage, and he does so successfully to draw a whistle and a face-off with 8.2 seconds left in period 2. An important face-off down in Port Huron territory. Ryan Alexander and Nick Stuckless on the draw. Alexander won it back. Johnson gets to it. Stuckless stole it from him, came all the way out. Graham got to it first, and he floats it all the way down, and that will do it for period number 2. Lucas Lockney with the only goal of the second, and the Prowlers have tied it up heading into period 3 of game number 2, the series deciding game here at McMorran Place, or game 3, pardon me, here at McMorran Place. Winner moves on to Binghamton, and the loser has their season ended. Our Brady Beaton is alongside that second period goal scorer, Lucas Lockney.
Down here on the ice with Lucas Lockney, you got the game-tying goal. Walk us through how you found the back of the net.
It was a pretty good shift. I think we closed them in their zone, so Reggie passed back to me and we just drive the net, so we score.
How loud has it been? I mean, when you scored, the place erupted, very loud cheers. What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. They're helping us a lot, and we got still 20 minutes, so we got this.
What do you got to do in the last 20 minutes to win this game?
Just keep skating hard, play hard, a lot of shots, drive net, and keep going.
Sounds good. Lucas, thank you. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
Will, back up to you.
Thank you, Brady. That is Lucas Lockney, whose first goal of the playoffs has this game all evened up through 40 minutes of play. It comes down to the final 20 and maybe more. What more could you want from a series-deciding Game 3? And this is playoff hockey at its best. 1-1 your score through 2 periods of play. Once again, stick around for the second intermission report right here on the PHP Network. Highlights and analysis from this one so far. We'll have Keely's corner, the out-of-town scores, and much more. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. But for now, we will step aside. Brady Beaton coming up to join me for this second intermission. This is the Commissioner's Cup Playoffs presented by Prepper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Come on, guys, hop in.
We're not getting in that thing. That thing's gross.
Yeah, I wore my nice pants today. This thing could use a detail.
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody who could detail a boat?
I think that guy could.
Hi, I'm Logan from Ballard's Detail. I can detail your boat.
From oxidized and faded to smooth and glossy, our professional compounding and waxing process will get your boat looking new again. Contact us today at 810-956-8318. Visit us on Facebook at Ballard's Detail LLC.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll say, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers themed creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Back here at McMorran Place, tied up at a goal apiece between the Prowlers and the Blue Ridge Bobcats, heading into the third period of this series-deciding Game 3. Nothing better than this, except for the heart rates of the people in the stands and up here in the broadcast booth. Will Wiggleman alongside Brady Beaton, and the Prowlers fans got something to cheer for in that second period. What a period it was.
That period is the definition of playoff hockey. I mean, from some of the saves, the one goal, the physicality back and forth. That is a period that if you don't have, someone's just not maybe a casual fan or doesn't really like hockey, if you show them that and sit them in this barn for those last 20 minutes, if they don't come out a hockey fan, then there's no helping them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, this building was buzzing after the Prowlers got on the board and a big tying goal. How about the shift for about a minute to a minute and a half before this? just keeping the puck in the offensive zone. They had one quick regroup, and then Reggie Millette able to find Lucas Lockney driving the crease, and Lockney stuffs home his first of these playoffs.
And I think Chris Paulin, hopefully with a happy post-game interview, will tell us that shift was Prowler hockey. That's what they were looking for, flying around, keeping the puck in the zone, owning the crease. I mean, Reggie Millette just working his tail off in that shift, amongst with some other guys, but he sets up the goal. And like I said during the second media timeout, you could feel it building and building and building in the crowd, a little more on the edge of the seat, a little more on the edge of the seat, and then finally they're rewarded with a goal. You thought you were getting another one near the end of that period. Man, it's a lot of excitement here, but a lot of nervous energy filling up McMorran Arena.
A lot of nervous energy for sure. We talked about nastiness. Austin Fairley said after the first period that this game was a war, and we saw a lot of that nastiness boil over near the end of that second period as Jamie Bucell got involved with Hugo Koch after Philip Levac and Grayson Dietrich had to be pulled apart. There's Bucell and Koch going at it on the side. They each picked up 2 minutes for roughing.
Yeah, and I think that's the fairest explanation or fairest assessment of that. Hey, Bucell was trying to get the crowd going. What did we talk about last period? Well, trying to get the crowd into it. Sans the goal, that was as loud as that place got, and I think that's what Buck knew that the team needed at that point going into the period. Get them on your side. Listen, Blue Ridge are smart. They don't want to engage, but if Buck is able to get them in a situation like that, get the crowd on their feet, I mean, that builds the momentum. That is the side of, the Prowlers playing with an edge that I really think helps them out when the crowd behind them, they embrace the Prowler hockey. I mean, heck, we saw the banner for goodness sake. They are all in on it, and now these fans are ready to go for the third, and I didn't mind that from Jamie.
Now, our Keeley's Corner tonight is explaining goaltender interference. That's always a hot topic in hockey.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know if we can. We do not have confirmation, by the way, that goaltender interference was the call here or the reasoning. You see this puck hits Kazirev kind of in the midsection, maybe the arm.
Did it hit the shaft of the stick? Because his stick was up. That's the only other thing I could think of.
Maybe hit his glove. That might be why it was waved off. But Cooper immediately was incensed, and the referees went immediately to go look at this, and there was no coach's challenge. This was an official review. As we look at it again there on the overhead, but tonight's Keeley's Corner presented by Full Metal Mel. We try and figure out why that one was waved off, and certainly the Prowlers fans were happy.
So, I mean, I feel like if you show this to 10 different officials, you're going to get a split right down the middle. There is contact. You could argue he was being forced into the contact. Again, what we saw from the wide when the stick was up, when the puck came to him, I don't know if they're saying it hit the shaft of the stick. I don't know, maybe right there he was on Cooper as he guided him in. I mean, if you're watching from Virginia, if you're wearing blue and yellow, you're saying that's a terrible call. If you're wearing red and black, you're saying, wow, the refs were right on it. What a call. Will, I'm going to be honest. I cannot make a strong determination one way or the other. What I am going to say is I'm very happy that they waved it off, because no one feels bad for you when those calls don't go your way.
Now, an interesting thing that happened in the stands following that. So I don't know if everybody saw, but yesterday, Section 9 started a bit of a conga line parade type thing in front of their section after each Prowler goal. Well, the Bobcats fans that came and sat one section over from Section 9, they came down and they did a conga line in front of Section 9 after that goal. And boy, when that one got waved off, you should have seen what went on between the two sections, jawing back and forth, all of Section 9, waving it off. No goal, but that's exactly what the ref did. No goal, and it stays tied. But, man, fans of both sides are into this one tonight.
I mean, really, what more could you ask for in a playoff game? I was standing down by the players' entrance before the period ended, and I was talking with Dalton Jay, actually, and he goes, if I didn't look up, I would have thought that was the third period. Just the intensity and the level of hockey that's been playing, that felt like a third period. There's still 20 minutes to go. Well, it might as well be 20 years. It feels like an eternity is left in this game.
Well, we'll have to see who has the legs left, who has more left in the tank to save their season tonight. Again, if I haven't said enough, winner moves on to Binghamton, loser is done. They're heading to the golf course. So, I mean, the next goal, it's such a cliche in broadcasting. Next goal is a big one, and we'll see who can get the next goal. We'll see if it's early in this period as well.
I mean, I'll be honest, just the way this game's gone, I don't think there's 2 more goals left between these two teams. And odds are it's going to be an ugly one. I mean, you're not going to get a one-timer from the slot that picks a corner. Hey, it'd be awesome if it was. Well, I have a strong feeling it's going to be a scrum out in front, maybe one that the goalie gets 90% of but needed that extra 10%. It's going to be one where the fans, their heart rate is going to be pumping all period long. And, yeah, this is why we work in this, is for games like this.
This is why we love sports, for moments like this. Period 3 of series deciding game number 3 is coming your way next. It's right here on the PHP network. Brady, should be an exciting final 20 minutes. What do the Prowlers need to do to pull it out in these final 20 minutes, maybe 20 plus minutes?
Well, as much as I just want to say play Prowlers hockey, I will expand a little more. I do think you need to keep the cool. You need to walk that tightrope more than ever right now. Hey, you know in playoff hockey you're not going to get that penalty called on you for something ticky-tack. But with 20 minutes left possibly in your season, you don't want 2 of those to be spent shorthanded. Don't give an opening. Play well 5-on-5. Play from your own zone out like you have all season. Help out Reed Cooper, and then put pucks on net. Get in the dirty areas and dominate the crease like you hear Chris Paulin say all the time. It's going to be an ugly goal that decides it. So, hey, maybe it's a Matt Graham special, standing out in front, tipping one in, poking a rebound through. It's going to be an ugly one. And you know what? For all the bag skates they do, Will, you've watched them how many times go blue line to blue line after a practice, after the side that wins the scrimmage does it anyway. It's for times like this. It's to find that one extra goal and use that physicality to wear this Blue Ridge team down and just find that one bounce. Play tight in your own zone, and when you get on the attack, find a way. Just put pucks on net. You're out shooting them by 7 now. It's been a while since the Prowlers have outshot Blue Ridge. Use that to your advantage. Feed off the crowd, and just by hook or by crook, find one way to get it over the red line.
3 total power plays in this game so far. The Bobcats are 1 for 1 on the man advantage. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, period 3 of game 3 will commence here from McMorran Place. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Welcome to the new era of Prowlers hockey. New owner, new store, new horn, fire, projectors on the ice. Yeah, this isn't your dad's McMorran experience. This is Prowlers hockey. Get your tickets for the show now at phprowlers.com/tickets.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
From Prowlers Hockey is presented by Proper 12 Mental shot. Prowlers. Back here in Port Huron, just a few minutes away from the start of period 3 in game number 3, the series decider. Thanks so much for tuning in with us, and hold on to your seats, folks. This is going to be a heck of a finish. It's been a heck of a game so far through 40 minutes. These teams are neck and neck. We've had a goal on either side. We've had a goal waved off for the Blue Ridge Bobcats, and if the Prowlers win this game and the series, Bobcats fans are going to look back at that one, much like the Prowlers did a couple of years ago when they thought they were robbed, when a quick whistle kept them from scoring in the series-deciding Game 3 down in Winston-Salem. And they ended up losing that one in overtime and losing the series. So if you are a franchise for long enough, you'll have those things that you don't agree with that may haunt your fans for years. Bobcats hoping that's not the case if they can pull this one out. 1-1 our score through 40 minutes of play and getting set for the third. Let's take a look at what's going on around the FPHL and the rest of our Commissioner's Cup playoff games. Our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. The PD Ice Cats have now outscored the Athens Rock Lobsters 12-3 in their first round series. PD the 4 seed and Athens the top seed in the Continental Division. PD looking for the upset on home ice. They're up 4-1 late in the second. Elijah Wilson has 2, Houston Wilson and Drew Welsh have the others for the Ice Cats. Garrett Millett has the only goal for the Rock Lobsters. And what a story that would be if the Ice Cats are able to hang on to that 3-goal advantage. Andrew Ballant has the only goal in Monroe. Through 20 minutes of play, the Moccasins came out firing, out shooting the Columbus River Dragons 24-9 in the first game, or the first period of their game number 2. It's Monroe who has their backs against the wall. And they need to win tonight to force the series-deciding Game 3 at the Snake Pit tomorrow. Again, 1-0 Moccasins through 20 minutes of play. Once again, we're getting ready to start period 3 here at McMorran Place. It's the Bobcats 1 and the Prowlers 1. Out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off at Love After Hours. Let's turn our attention back to this one with the Gunther Graphics game stats. Prowlers leading in shots on goal for the first time in this series, as the Bobcats won in that department each of the first 2 games. 24-17 the shots right now for Port Huron. Blue Ridge has a power play goal. Port Huron outscored Blue Ridge 2-0 in special teams last night. The Bobcats tied up in this one because of their special teams. They did get the game opening goal on a power play. And that is where we stand. Bobcats hitting the ice, led out by Anthony Schrum. He has made 23 saves on 24 Prowler shots tonight. He's been fantastic. And the McMorran faithful giving it to the Bobcats. As they are out there on the ice, Port Huron soon to follow. And here comes Reed Cooper, who's made 16 saves on 17 shots. Who is the hero? A full roster on each side to pick from. 16 skaters and 2 goaltenders on each side. Of course, just one goaltender between the pipes on each side. And both have been fantastic, as you'd expect and hope for in the midst of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. We will have 1 minute and 31 seconds of 4-on-4 time to begin this third. There you see Schrum, who has the win for the Bobcats in this series. He's 1-0. Got the win on Wednesday as Bucell and Koch are in the penalty boxes, again where they'll sit for the first minute and a half of this third period. Alexander, Dietrich, Favaro, and Larkin for Port Huron. Martin, Gallagher, Erickson, and Levac for Blue Ridge. The final regulation period of this first round series is underway. It's Gallagher, the long shot, taken in and held by Cooper. "10 seconds for our first whistle in this third period, the CJ's third period. Same 8 skaters out there as the opening drop. Gallagher lined up at the top of that circle behind Martin. Alexander able to win it back. Favaro wheels his net. Favaro played it to an area for Alexander. He circles back away from Gallagher. Larkin forced back behind his cage by Martin. Handoff for Alexander. Alexander up with speed. Ryan Alexander drops it off. Favaro almost lost it. And now they stretch it on for Martin. He couldn't bring it in cleanly, and that drew the play off sides. Prowlers catch a break. Bit of a broken play there. Watch Favaro and Larkin on the near side almost went back, or started to go back to defend, and then Martin brought it in offsides because Zirev was on the other side heading towards the net. Price lost it. Here's Pedrazov. Gave it over to Alvo. Now Kazirev. Kazirev into the offensive zone. Peels back. Slid it down to Pedrazov. Whipped it on goal. And Cooper has it. Kazirev's been quiet in this series. 1 goal, just a minute, less than a minute into game 1. The Bobcats points leader has not found the score sheet since. There's his line mate Pedrazov. See Kazirev heading towards the net on that shot. Stuckless able to win the faceoff back, but it's jumped by Hakala. Levac got it to Stuckless. Carson Andrioli wheels in. Batted away from him. Hakala couldn't get it out. Here comes Mercurio. All the way around the net. Mercurio up top. Levac over to Erickson. Walks in. Drags. Couldn't get the shot off. Parsons pokes it ahead. And then he dropped Erickson. We're back to 5-on-5. Alexander around behind his net. Here comes Ryan Alexander again, trying to fly ahead. Alexander gets it back. All 5 Bobcats back. Alexander looking, try to sweep it in front. He has it again. Finally swished through the glass and has the puck taken from him. Koch played to an area, cut off by Larkin. Here comes Federley, wheeling in on Alvo. On the backhand, knocked down by Schrum, and he has it covered. We'll get a face-off down in Blue Ridge's end, but Anthony Schrum not clean handling that one. Federley got level. You see the puck squirt free there just for a moment. Now the Prowlers send Millet's line on for the offensive zone draw. Millet and Andrioli on the face-off. Alvo tries to go around his net. Just sent it up the boards. Lockhart takes it in the neutral zone. And Lockhart got dumped by Daly. Johnson to Bucell. Off the boards and out. Alvo took a bump. Martin has the puck. Rosenbaum. Alvo takes it in off the wall. Quickly ahead to Gallagher. Gallagher sends it through to Martin. Trying to drag it through. Gallagher overskated the puck. Johnson goes off the window and down. Alvo chasing, and he gets there for the icing. 2:47 gone in this third period. There's a hit by Grayson Dietrich down the Blue Ridge end, and then there's the check on Lockhart. Still plenty of physicality here in game 3. There's a shot that changed direction, ended up in the corner. Levac around behind the cage. Gallagher couldn't bring it in front. Martin swept it there, got it back. Martin. Lockhart's lost his stick. Martin twisting and turning, sends it up top. Levac sends it through, hit traffic, and it comes over to Bucell. Jamie Bucell, cross corner. Chopped up the wall. Oregon got a piece of it. Here comes Martin with Koch. Martin gave it to Koch. Knocked off his stick. Swept ahead. Lockney couldn't bring it in, but he pokes it out to center. Millette in with Federley. Millette peels back, looking for an option. Tried to send it all the way across to Parsons. Good stick by Koch. Parsons steps out to his left. Pass kicked off of Federley's skate. Oregon slipped it up the near side boards, but gave it away to Kazirev. Kazirev looking for a pass in the middle. Ramped off a Prowler's stick. Sent down low. Mercurio put it off the side of the net. Parsons trying to play away from Kazirev. Stuckless in there as well. Stuckless has it. Tried to stuff. And Cooper able to hang on. Just over 4 minutes gone in the third. Nervous energy here in McMorran as the Bobcats get another offensive chance. See Cooper sealing the ice there. Off this drop, almost blast into Cooper's glove, and then Favaro took an elbow up high from Daly, or a stick. Daly and Larkin going at it. They're separated, but Nick Favaro got caught up high by Justin Daly. Take another look at it. It was right after the save from Cooper. Looks like it was Daly's stick, actually, that caught Favaro up high. Prowlers make a change here, and they send Bucell's line out. Millette to take the draw against Pedrazov. Comes over to the boards. Larkin and Daly tie up. Favaro all the way up to Dietrich. Dietrich cuts across, swung down, and had the puck taken. Pedrazov working on Larkin. Moved up the glass. Kept it at the line. All those knuckler held by Cooper. A lot of play down in Reed Cooper's end in the early going of this third period. We take another look at the shot from Alvo. At the top, Levac looking for a stick. Gallagher couldn't put it in front. Johnson took the puck from him. DeCumbis slips it through to Alexander with Price. Johnson hustling to join. Alexander, Johnson! Well, along the ice and wide as it was partially blocked. Koch couldn't force it through Johnson. They're able to get it out. Alexander chasing. Back behind the cage to Lockhart. In front of his own net. DeCumbis got it out. Mercurio turns it right back up. 4 Prowlers back. Mercurio missed wide on the short side. Sent back down and around by Alvo. Koch pinned by Parsons, trying to center, and it's gloved down by Lockhart. DeCumbis next to touch it. Hand pass is okay in the defensive zone. DeCumbis deposit in the far corner. Kazirev. Got an outside shot. That pinballed around right by the blue paint. Oregon puts it over to the corner. Kept in. Parsons. Trying to push it back up the strong side. Kazirev with a centering feed blocked away by Port Huron. Here comes Graham. Dumped right in on Schrum. He'll scoop it up, and the Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off here when we come back. Bobcats with most of the offensive action to start this third period, but we're still tied up at 1. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Prepper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorrin fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4.
Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Fans getting up and getting loud here in Port Huron. Prowlers and Bobcats tied up at a goal apiece and a game apiece in this best of 3. Shots in this third period favoring Blue Ridge 5-1, but an offensive zone face-off coming for the Prowlers down in Shrum's end, and a chance to flip momentum a little bit. Graham and Pedrazov on the draw. Lockhart couldn't poke it down deep. 2-on-1 for Blue Ridge. It's Reller. Couldn't get it to Andrioli. Alex Johnson blocked the pass. And now Johnson hustles ahead. Johnson with a shot blocked. Graham pops it out. Quick shot. Hakela missed on the blocker's side of Schrum. Graham, now Hakela kicks it to his stick, low to high, Favaro lets it go, hit traffic in front, and Hakela just pushed it wide. Graham blew a tire. Here come the Bobcats, it's Alvo, harassed as he slides it in towards Cooper, who elects to cover up and get a whistle. CJ's Bar and Grill keeps the kitchen open until 1 a.m. and gives you a 10% discount for wearing Prowlers gear on a home game day. It's the perfect place for all of your post-game celebrations. This face-off is tied up. It's poked to the corner, centering feet, Morden, stopped by Cooper, and the rebound cleared by Nick Favaro. And the biggest save of this game so far. We get an icing. And another look. The Bobcats captain was all alone in front. Cooper stayed right with him. Willette snaps this draw back. Favaro lost an edge, took a hit up high. Here's Erickson with a shot, blocked, and it comes to Favaro, who's back to his feet. Favaro went down to his knees, took a hit up high. Here's Price, couldn't make a play on it. Puck comes back towards the Prowler bench. Bucell fresh onto the ice. They'll send it up the near side boards. St. Pierre playing away from Price. Parsons knocked it down, sent it in on Schrum, who drops for Daniel Martin. Let's go Prowlers chants coming down from the crowd. St. Pierre for Erickson. Back to St. Pierre. Nicola swiped it off of St. Pierre's stick. Now it's Erickson. Bobcats still have not moved beyond their goal line. Now Erickson does. To the left. Stuckless has a man going to the net. Tried to send it there, it was blocked. Lockney takes it. Lockney, long feed, tipped in by Bucell. St. Pierre dinks it for Radchenko. Radchenko looking ahead to Stuckless. Johnson knocked it off his stick. Now Radchenko tries the left wing side. He dumps it around. Johnson swings it around. Graham lost it to Stuckless. Stuckless up high, Radchenko. Back down deep. Lockhart hustles to it. Up to Lockney. Prowlers start a rush. Lockney gets the red line and dumps it in, bouncing on Schrum. And he covers up for a whistle and a face-off. Draw will be to Schrum's left here. Take another look at that save by Reed Cooper a few minutes ago. Or no, this is the hit on Favaro. He took Martin's stick up high after he went down to his knees. Off the draw, Price trying to get back to it. And it slid out of the zone. Oregon for Dietrich. Alexander slides it back to Grayson Dietrich, but offside. Alvo finishes check on Dietrich, and here we go! A full run roll here. Everybody's involved, and just about everybody's down on the ice. Alvo just threw a punch at Dietrich. Dietrich trying to get back at Stephen Alvo. We have two other piles as well that are just getting back to their skates. Players still not done with each other. Finally, everybody's separated. Alvo is heading to the penalty box. Dietrich as well. We'll see who else. Play was offsides, and then Alvo with a big hip check on Dietrich, and that's what set it all off. Those are the only two in the box right now. You see the two are fighting there. They're the punches by Alvo after Dietrich was on the ground, and the linesman finally able to pry them apart. Referees have an important job to figure this one out. Still just those two in the penalty boxes as Daniel Martin is getting the explanation. Jamie Bucell and Brandon Reller having a chat by the benches. Reller standing there on the bench, and Brandon Badens has decided it's enough. Looks like we'll stay five-a-side hockey here. Let's go Prowlers chants from the McMorran crowd. Face off outside the Bobcats end. They return Grayson Dietrich's helmet to him. They see Dietrich and Alvo in the sin bins. This will not affect on-ice manpower, but the Prowlers short a forward and the Bobcats short a defenseman for the time being. Alexander on the forecheck, left in front, Price, score! the side of the net. Bobby Price has put the Prowlers ahead. Ryan Alexander made the play, and Bobby Price, who had 2 goals in the Game 3 in Danbury a year ago, tucks it on the short side. Port Huron has a 2-1 lead with 11:03 left in the series deciding Game 3. Brady Beaton said it would probably be a greasy one. That's pretty greasy right there at the side of the net. Now the Bobcats looking for a response. It's batted to the line. St. Pierre Lorester changed direction. Ended up behind the cage. Comes over to the net. Cooper covered it. Stuckless getting a rough ride from the Port Huron defense. Ryan Alexander with the only assist on the goal by Bobby Price. Price is first to the playoffs after he led the playoffs, the entire Commissioner's Cup playoffs, in goals last year with 5. He led the Prowlers with 29 goals this season. Here's that last chance for Blue Ridge, and see Stuckless digging away. And the Prowlers take exception to that, as well as the elbow to the head of Matt Graham as Stuckless was trying to get his stick in there on Cooper. Kazirev closed off by Favaro. Puck's still there. Kazirev knocked down. Puck's underneath him. Bodies on the ice. Puck's in there somewhere. And they decide to blow it dead. Now Millette is tied up with, I believe that's Mercurio. There you see Kazirev getting knocked down by Favaro, and the puck again was underneath Nikita Kazirev for a long while. More bodies went flying. And we'll have a face-off to Cooper's right. Ucell and Mercurio on this draw. Johnson and Stuckless were having a bit of a battle on the far wing. Now the puck is down. Federle takes control. Federle gets the red line, tosses it in. Radchenko and Hakala hunting it down. Hakala throws a check. Ucell grabs the puck, tried to center. Ucell has it back. Lockhart, quick shot, swallowed up by Schramm. Good play by Jamie Bucell there. Couldn't get the centering feed as he had Federle moving downhill. And Lockhart got a good shot in that Schrum was able to see and stop. Tossed in by the Bobcats. Larkin up the near side to Price. The only goal scorer of this third period so far. They dig away. Puck is underneath Bobby Price. He's back to his skates. Price trying to muscle it up the wall. Gallagher has it now down low. Gallagher around the net trying to stuff. And Cooper got his pad to the post. Price at the red line. Tripped up. Fans want a penalty they won't get. Play continues. Alexander at the front. Trying to tuck it. He scores! First pro goal for Ryan Alexander. The Prowlers lead by 2. Prowlers with 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. And now 9-13 separates them from a date with the Black Bears in round 2 if they can hold on to the lead. Here they come for more. Bucell, Millette couldn't bring in the pass. Dropped it in front. Millette around the cage, all the way out, but ends up in the neutral zone on Lockhart's stick. Lockhart kept it away from a Bobcat, but he high-sticked him, and a penalty coming up against Brent Lockhart. So the Prowlers would go short-handed, but they get 2 goals in the span of 1 minute and 38 seconds. Port Huron has a 3-1 lead in the series-deciding Game 3. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with the low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
Back here on the PHP Network, 3-1. Prowlers on top. They go down a man. They've got 2 minutes of their best penalty kill they need of the year and 8 minutes and 40 seconds of Prowlers hockey to get another shot at Binghamton. Will, back to you.
Thank you, Brady. Back here at McMorran Place, Reed Cooper has kept the Prowlers in it for stretches of this game. His offense has gotten him 2, but now Brett Lockhart sits for 2. And the Prowlers have to kill for the 3rd time in this game, or for the 2nd time in this game. Bobcats are 1 for 1 on the power play. Lavak, left wing side, Mercurio. Wrapped around, hustling to it, Lavak and DeCumbis. Lavak gets it back deep, comes all the way around to Mercurio. Trying to force his way behind that centering feed. Great stick by Johnson to deny Stuckless. Take another look, Mercurio found Stuckless at the side of the net, and I do believe that was Alex Johnson who got it. Maybe Mercurio just raised it into the rafters, or maybe Cooper got a piece. Either way, it went to the protective netting up high out of play. Now, Nick Stuckless collapsed in the face-off circle down in Prowler territory. He did not get the call he was looking for. And play continues as Martin is stymied at the line. Hakala claps it down. Radchenko. Koch in his Bobcats debut. Drops it to Radchenko. Wrister blocked by Bucell. Here he comes short-handed. Bucell on his backhand. And Radchenko with that long reach, able to get back to defend. Prowlers had a league-low 2 short-handed goals in the regular season, but they got their game winner last night, short-handed. Daly turns the corner and shoots, and he scores! Another power play goal for the Bobcats, and Blue Ridge is within 1 with 7:17 to go. .20-goal scorer Justin Daly has his first tally of the series. Nice pass by Gallagher. Daly with space, able to turn and fire it. High glove on Cooper. It's a one-goal game again. Prowlers hockey, that's the message. As Rosenbaum takes it, claps it in off the end glass. Graham pulls it from a scrum and gets it to Lockney. Able to dump it in. St. Pierre up the boards, right into Federley. Lockhart down to Federley. Prowlers set up their offense. Graham tied up with St. Pierre behind the net. Graham looking for an option. With St. Pierre blanketed all over him. Puck ends up going over to the far corner. Federley, the first one on it, but he overskated it. Federley able to send it down low to Lockney. Poked up high. Federley back down and around. Alexander, fresh off the bench, has 2 points in the period. Lockney trying to play away from Rosenbaum. Lockney turning as St. Pierre right on him. Alexander now working on Rosenbaum. Slides up the wall. Parsons puts it on goal. And it's dropped by Schrum for St. Pierre. Price tried to knock St. Pierre off the puck. Martin just pitches it out. Hit Gallagher, who's coming off the bench. And I don't think this will be delay of game. I think it will just be a face-off down in Bobcats territory for the puck hitting a Bobcat who is still on the bench. I don't think Gallagher came onto the ice. Call Fraser Building at 810-364-2766 or visit FraserBuildingCompany.com for all of your construction needs. From thought to finish, together we build a home. See if we can get another look at that one. I think the reasoning why there's no too many men on the ice penalty here is because Gallagher was still on the bench. He had not come onto the ice, but they do blow it dead because Gallagher was technically out of play. And we get a whistle and a face-off down in Blue Ridge's territory. There you see Gallagher still stepping over the boards, but not yet on the ice. Favaro and Koch hustling after it. Cooper came out, so no icing. Play it to Larkin. Millette stops up. Millette peeling back. Millette tried to chip it ahead, knocked out of the air by Martin. Bucell pins it all along the half wall. Now Erickson walks the blue line. Lavak lets it go, blocked by Dietrich. Diving play by Bucell to get it out. Koch back in, couldn't get his pass through to Martin. Hard off the glass, lands for Millette, working in. Had his stick lifted by Lavak. Millette sells it down, rips it on Schrum from the red line. Lavak wheels around the cage. Here comes Philip Lavak, left wing side, Daly. Trying to make a pass to Mill, drops for Podrazov, and he missed on the short side. Daly back on goal, tipped wide. Loose puck as Lockhart went flying. Could not be kept in at the line. Lockhart drops it back to Johnson. Under 5 to go in regulation. 3-2 the Prowlers lead. Lockhart squeezes his man off, but Andrioli still ends up with the puck. Lockhart from his knees gets it out. Alvo to Radchenko. Tipped in by Podrazov. Federley indirect for Graham, gets it out. Radchenko chased by Hakala. Radchenko has to deal with a stick that was loose on the ice, had trouble. Here comes Dietrich looking for Graham, passes behind him, but bouncing around. Graham stopped by Schrum, and he has it. Boy, that loose stick on the ice caused the Bobcats some trouble. Prowlers ahead by 1 with 4 minutes left to go in the series deciding game number 3. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Discover 1195 Gastropub in Marysville. Burgers, pizzas, apps, and pub favorites like filet mignon and grilled salmon. Open Monday to Friday, 4 to 9 p.m., weekends 12 to 9 p.m. Join us for happy hour, Monday to Thursday. Enjoy half-off bottles of wine every Wednesday, and don't miss Thirsty Thursday with $4 draft beers. Great food, cold drinks, good times. That's 1195 Gastro Pub.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
A lot of pressure on that man, Reed Cooper. His team leads by 1 with 3:59 left to go in this series-deciding Game 3. Winner goes on to Binghamton. The loser heads home. But the faceoff will be down at the other end next to Anthony Schrum. Artu Hakala will take the faceoff against Nick Stucklitz. Robin Erickson wraps it around. Kazirev try to send it ahead. Bumps back by Port Huron. Lovak, right wing side to Stucklitz. Working on Johnson. Outside shot missed wide. Mercurio twisted it back deep. Comes all the way around to the near side. Lovak pinched in. Back to the far side it goes. Erickson off the end wall. Back around to Lovak. Sends it on goal and missed. Erickson now to Lovak. It exploded off his stick. Hakala gets to the red line and he dumps it in. Erickson plays it for Lovak. Tossed it out. Favaro settles. D to D to Larkin. Now Favaro tipped in by Alexander. Price and Alvo after it. Alvo slid it to Koch. Tried to bump it out. Alexander couldn't get to it. Good stick by Alvo. Puck goes all the way down. It went off a Prowler stick, so no icing. Larkin swept it up the near side. Radchenko puts it right back into Prowler territory. Larkin took a hard check. Millette backed him up. Here's Favaro sending it out. Oh, he did just get it over the line. Alvo gloved it down, then Millette came together with Alvo. That's the end of that. 2:31 left to go. We'll keep an eye on Anthony Schrum down in the Blue Ridge net. That puck just came out of the zone, they say. All those skates were behind the blue line. And he reached straight up in the air. Alvo goes to Radchenko. Trying to enter the offensive zone. Gallagher right wing side. Got off a stick and out of play. And the face-off deep in the Prowler end. Lots of nervous energy in this building. And timeout called by the Blue Ridge Bobcats here, I believe. Yep, indeed it is. Motek Zemlika elects to use his timeout. We came into the third period tied at 1. Prowlers got 2 in 1 minute and 38 seconds. And then Justin Daly made it a 1-goal game on a power play shortly thereafter. It's loud here at McLaurin Place at Kensington Hotel. What a game this has been. One of these teams has to lose. One of these teams has to see its season end. We will have handshakes on the ice. Face-off, set for the dot. Reed Cooper's left. Anthony Schrum is staying on the bench. So a 6-on-5 attack here for the Bobcats with 2:21 to go. Actually, I believe it will be is it 2:31 or no? Kazirev, Stuckless, Daly, Alvo, Mercurio, and Radchenko. The 6 for the Bobcats. With 2:21 left. Tied up, pushed back to Alvo. His shot hit his own man, Stuckless, who is down the face-off circle. Federley gets to it. That is the attempt towards the empty net, blocked. Graham tries to send it there, missed wide. And icing called against the Prowlers. Graham was just a stride shy of the red line. Stride or 2. Actually, more than a couple strides. Certainly far enough to earn the icing call. Off this drop, Nikola gets it only as far as Radchenko. Alvo down to Kazirev. Up top, Alvo. Kazirev again. On the half wall, Kazirev loaded it through, couldn't find a friendly stick. Radchenko to the top, blocked by Graham. Here he comes to the yawning cage. Bingo! Shots. Matt Graham did it, and he got rewarded. And he may have just sent the Prowlers to round 2. John Larkin with a lot of words for a Bobcat. Larkin is being sent off the ice. Insult to injury, Country Road starts playing. It's Justin Daly in the Bobcats penalty box. I can hardly hear myself think right now. I don't know if I've heard this building louder than it is right now. Port Huron has shown out, and their team has rewarded them. Justin Daly's season is over as he steps off. Swung around to the near side, Heikola bangs it, and Graham keeps it moving out. Koch got it for Gallagher. See if they pull Schrum again, with the Bobcats still in possession in the Prowler end. Erickson gets the red line, off for Gallagher. Gallagher straight on, but the Bobcats offside. Erickson threw a punch at Federley. Lockhart's after Erickson. Now Erickson's chopped his mitts. They have to pull him off of Brett Lockhart. Prowlers captain Austin Federley is down on his hands and knees. Bridget Smith, the Prowlers trainer, over to check on him. A cheap shot from, oh, how about that? Another cheap shot from Erickson on Federley as he was skating back to the Prowler bench. going to have to get over to the benches right now because Bucell is involved with some Bobcats who are still on the bench. Greller is one of them. Take another look. This play goes in offsides. And you see Erickson at the top of your screen, right there. Just a glove to the face of Federley. Lockhart went after Erickson. I don't know if we caught the second one from Erickson on camera. But after trainer Bridget Smith was out there to check on Federley, Federley got back to his skates, and Erickson gave another shot to Federley as Federley was helmetless skating back to his bench. Unfortunately, an ugly way to end what has been an all-time classic hockey game. Fans give it to Robin Erickson as he heads off to join Daly in the locker room. There's Bucell at the bottom of your screen down here. He was chatting with the Bobcats bench. Reller was involved. Reller is now out there on the ice. This is going to be a Port Huron power play. And a chance to put another one on the board, rub the salt in the wound a little bit, or to just end this game up a man. St. Pierre going to serve. So watch Reller. He's battling with Lockhart at the faceoff circle. We might take another look at that later. As Lucas Lockney walks up the half wall, gave it down to Graham. Trying to float it in front, and it just gets batted past the nets by a Blue Ridge stick. Graham pops it all the way out to the top. Federley gets there to just hold it in at the line. Ekala up to Federley, walks down the boards. Austin Federley looking, backpedaling, way to the middle. Alexander tried to grab it there. Now it's Reller. Johnson tried to defend him as Alexander cut off a pass. 39 seconds left to go in game 3. Lockney peels back. Down the wall to Alexander. Loose helmet belonging to Alex Johnson is sitting there in the corner. Radchenko moved it along. Reller chips it out. Favaro to the near side, Alexander. Gave it away, here comes Reller, and Alexander stole it right back. 15 seconds left. The fans rise to their feet. The Prowlers are on to Binghamton in round number 2. But the fans may have been louder. What a game, what a series. Port Huron moves on, winning 2 at home with their backs against the wall. They take down the Blue Ridge Bobcats 4-2 tonight, 2-1 in the series, and they get the rematch they've been waiting a year for. And now the greatest tradition in hockey begins, the handshake line. For the first time here at McMorran Place since 2016, the handshake line. Or 2018, pardon me. Both teams going through. There you see some of the Prowler fans. And take a look at the handshake line. Greg Hussey, Reed Cooper having some words for each other. Some friendly words. Had some streamers thrown out there onto the ice. You think this means a lot to the fans in this building? It absolutely does. The Prowlers earned home ice advantage for the first time in 8 years with a 107-point regular season. They earned the opportunity to end a series at home in front of their fans, and their fans delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done. We invite you for our next broadcast, which will be of Game 1 of these Commissioners of the semifinals here in the Commissioners Cup playoffs. Prowlers will take on the Binghamton Black Bears, a rematch of last year's semifinals. Date and time TBD, but we do know that Game 1 will be here at McMorran Place. If you want to be part of everything that went on in here tonight, be here, be loud. Tickets are already available at phprowlers.com/playoffs. Prowlers with an extra salute for their guys. How about Lucas Lockney with the flag? And Brett Lockhart and John Larkin are out of the locker room to join. But of course, not to be forgotten, our prayer circle at center ice. There you see Larkin was asked to leave the game in the final minutes. The referees wanted to make sure they maintain control. Nothing that should affect any of those guys for Game 1 of the semifinals against the Binghamton Black Bears. Well, coming up in the post-game show here on the PHP Network, do you want to hear from our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game? How about Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin? I know from some of your comments online you love to hear from Chris Paulin. So hear it first here on the PHP Network live. Stick around for the post-game show. Also go through the highlights from this one, the final game stats, and much more. That's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. In the immediate, though, we will have our 3 stars of the game. And we send it to public address announcer Austin Dunn for that. We will hopefully get that going here in just a moment. Austin Federley, there's the look of a warrior. That's the face of a warrior, the blood streaming down the face. We'll send it to Austin Dunn for tonight's 3 stars.
The third star in that team from the Brewers Bobcats with 2 assists. Number 88, Carson Gallagher.
So Carson Gallagher with 2 assists gets the 3rd star.
The third star in that game with 1 goal and 1 assist. Number 29, Bobby Price.
Bobby Price put the Prowlers ahead for good in the 3rd.
And the first star in that game with the game-winning goal and 1 assist. Number 74, Ryan Alexander.
Ryan Alexander, what a time for your first pro goal. It's the game winner tonight, also assisted on Price's 3rd period goal. Ryan Alexander, collegiate signing out of Colorado College, now gets to chat with Brady Beaton as our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game.
Down here on the ice with our Gunther Graphics player of the game, Ryan Alexander, had the game-winning goal to help send the Prowlers on to the next round. Ryan, there's a lot of things I can ask you. Just walk me through all the emotions you felt tonight.
Yeah, felt a lot of emotions, but just played Prowler hockey.
Seems to work for you guys, doesn't it? I mean, in that third period, it's 1-1 going into the third. Seemed like you just had a little more legs, a little more of that grit, sandpaper. What about this group allowed you to pull away in that third period?
Yeah, we felt a lot of it, but we knew we had a lot in us. We knew we could play Prowler hockey.
Having a guy like Reed Cooper behind you has to give you guys a lot of confidence. What can you say about your goalie?
Yeah, I feel safe out there. And yeah, he plays Prowler hockey.
Can we expect Prowler hockey in the next round against Binghamton?
Yes.
Our Gunther Graphics player of the game, Ryan Alexander. Now get up with the boys.
Ryan Alexander, the game-winning goal tonight. Our Gunther Graphics player of the game. Take another look at his winner. It was 2-1 Prowlers at this point. Alexander tenacious at the net front. 1, 2, 3 whacks, and it's in the 2-knee celebration. And that sent Port Huron to the Commissioner's Cup semifinals against the Binghamton Black Bears. That's who they'll face in round number 2. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, the post-game show is next here on the PHP Network. This is the Commissioner's Cup playoffs presented by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey.
Are you sick of asking somebody else to live your own life? I'm Josh with the Franchise Guys. If you're ready to quit your job or build your empire, I'll help you trim down my 800 franchise brand partnerships down to a few that fit you, fit your goals, and fit your budget. With options from senior care to airplane detailing, there's an opportunity for you. Owning a franchise can have up to a 90% success rate. That's better than job security. With the systems and support of a franchise, you won't be making all those costly mistakes as you would if you started your own business from scratch. And with options as low as $6,000 to get your own job-replacing business, there's no better option for you than to book a free call with me and my team. Visit GoFranchiseGuys.com. Stop dreaming about a better life and go live it.
Come party where the Prowlers party at Hamlin Pub. With 10 locations including locally in St. Clair, Richmond, and Chesterfield. Hamlin Pub is the best place for your hangout. Watch the Prowlers or your other favorite sports teams on their mini screens throughout the pub and get your weekend going with live entertainment every Friday and Saturday. Come party like the Prowlers at Hamlin Pub.
Hey Spike, my hip meds are costing a fortune. My humans are stressed, and they're pretending it's fine.
You're not alone, Max. My humans are cutting back on my flea and tick meds.
Ugh, tell me about it. My thyroid pills were draining the kibble fund until we found Global Pharmacy Plus.
Online stores? Are they actually cheaper?
Way cheaper. They save my humans 40% or more compared to those other big online sites.
My humans can finally afford on premium treats again!
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Two-year final in the series deciding Game 3 here at McMorran Place. Will Wiggleman back with you as the Prowlers win the best of 3, 2-1. I still have enough voice left in me to do the post-game show for you. So this one started with Reed Cooper and Anthony Schrum between the pipes. Same goaltending matchup as game number 1. And it was the Bobcats for the second time in this series getting the first goal. They got an early power play, and this one goes to Demid Pedrazov. And just a bit of a greasy goal, bouncing around in front, and they find the carom. And it goes through Cooper, and Pedrazov, who's had a strong series here, came into the game with a goal and an assist, gets the game-opening goal here tonight. We'll pause and wait as Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin is alongside Brady Beaton. Let's see if Coach Paulin has a few more words for us than he did last night. Down to you, Brady.
Down here on the ice for our Schultz Roofing coaches interview with associate head coach Chris Paulin. Coach, there's a lot I want to ask you about. The first question, that looked a lot like Prowler hockey, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Boys played extremely hard. The game was as expected, ups and downs. I thought Blue Ridge won an awful lot of shifts, so did we. The bench stayed together, and it was will at the end of the day. The boys willing it to the finish line.
You know, through 40 minutes, you guys are tied in a pretty even hockey game. You kind of outlasted them, had a little more legs, had a little more sandpaper, had a little more grit. What does it say about this team and how the last 7, 8, 9 months have helped prepare for this 3-game series?
That's exactly right. I don't think we won this series this week. I think we won it over the course of the last 7, 8 months. I think it's been a long build, and guys have been putting in a ton of work and a ton of sacrifices, some we talked about in training camp. And the work the guys put in is unlike anything I've ever experienced or I've ever seen. I think they deserved it, and they showed it today.
I mean, I've got to ask you about Reed Cooper, an absolute warrior through all 3 games, made some big-time saves. I mean, what can you say about Coop?
I don't think there's too much to be said. He's a warrior, and I'm really proud of him. I know he's going to keep going.
There are a lot of guys you can point to that made a big difference in this game, and it might not have been on the score sheet either. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to list all of them, but there were some big plays. Who were some that stood out or some moments that stood out in tonight's game?
What stood out to me was the bench. The bench, and no matter what happened, when guys were tired, guys were gritting their teeth. Whether we were winning shifts, losing shifts, we had unbelievable leadership. The captains were electric. B-Way was on the bench getting the boys going when they started to get quiet. That's what I'll take away from this game, how electric everyone was, how much everyone played for each other. It's like what we've been seeing all year, and I'm really excited for these guys tonight.
You know, you mentioned Ben Brockway. He's a guy, he's been in the lineup a lot, not for the playoffs, but he's still on the bench, still getting the guys going. What does it say about a guy like him who has a letter on his chest to still be just as involved even when he's not dressed?
He's the epitome of Prowler hockey. I have no higher compliment I could give him. He means everything to this group. Whether he's playing lots, playing little, not playing at all, you never notice. He was an integral part to this win. Trust me when I say that.
You know, one moment that I think a lot of people are going to point to in this game was when they overturned the goal call. Just to confirm it, was it goalie interference? What did the officials say on the explanation?
I didn't get too much of an explanation other than the goalie was trying to make a save. He impeded him. Goalie interference. It's what we saw in video too, so that's what I was expecting. But as we saw on the bench, you can only control so much, so let the refs do their thing and we do ours.
So, Coach, obviously a very emotional win, a hard-fought series. How long do you guys get to enjoy this before you get a chance at the two-time defending champs?
The boys will enjoy it tonight, get together. I'm excited. Let's just say I'm excited to get out of here right now.
I know you are, Coach, but I do have to. I mean, come on. This play Prowler hockey, an overnight sensation, and I think it's very obvious that Prowler hockey helped you win tonight.
There's nothing that means more than the logo and those who wear it, this community, this city, the support we have. You saw it tonight. This means this is for everyone, not just the players and staff, literally all of Port Huron, and we don't take that lightly.
Well, Coach, I'm excited to watch a lot more Prowler hockey in the next few weeks. So enjoy tonight, and let's have a fun talk on Friday night.
Sounds good.
Coach Chris Paulin with our Schultz Roofing coach interview. Will, back up to you.
Play Prowler hockey. That was the message this weekend. And you see the banner hanging there down on the east side of the arena. Again, thank you to Thorpe Printing Services. Lance called me earlier today and was like, hey, I made a banner because I really liked Coach Paulin's interview last night. Can you come help me hang it? I want it to be a surprise for the guys. So we hung that earlier today. And again, it just Lance did that out of the excitement for this team. He also made a bunch of signs. You may have seen Section 9 holding some signs as well that Lance also made, and just such an awesome community thing right there, and just shows the excitement these fans here in this city have for this team. Let's keep on chugging through our recap. It was 1-0 Bobcats through one period of play, and we get to the second, and the Prowlers had their best shift of the game up to this point. They were wheeling around the offensive end for upwards of a minute, and Reggie Millette finally finds Lucas Lockney in front, and Lockney taps home his first goal of these playoffs. Just able to find the space between the two Bobcats defensemen. And Port Huron was off and running, and the fans were going nuts. It was 1-1 heading into the third. A lot of you joined us because it was 1-1 heading into the third. And there, the Prowlers got the next goal just less than 9 minutes into the final frame of regulation. How about the hard work from Ryan Alexander to get it in front? Bobby Price finds some daylight short side on Anthony Schrum. Price tied for the FPHL lead with 5 postseason goals last year. That's his first, and it put Port Huron ahead for good. And we mentioned Alexander. He got the primary assist, and how about a minute 38 later, it was Alexander himself finally getting his first pro goal after all kinds of hard work coming out of the corner. 1, 2, 3 whacks, and the puck to the back of the net. Again, his first pro goal, and it could not have come at a better time. A 2-goal Port Huron lead. Look at the celebration for Ryan Alexander. But that 2-goal lead lasted just over 2 minutes because the Bobcats got a power play. They were 1 for 1 on the power play at this point, and now they'd go 2 for 2 as Justin Daly turned, got to a scoring area, and found some room. High glove on Reed Cooper. So Daly made it a game again. Bobcats pulled Anthony Schrum, and we're pressing with the extra attacker. But Prowlers hockey means blocked shots. And who better to exemplify that than the head coach himself? Matt Graham gets in front of the shot from Steven Alvo, and he seals the deal in this series. Prowlers take it 4-2. Third star of the game tonight, Carson Gallagher had an assist on both Bobcats goals. Gallagher finishes the series with a goal and 3 assists in the 3-game series. There you see Graham with his young son, Olin. And they're going to take a lap out onto the ice after this series win. Second start tonight, Bobby Price with a goal and an assist. And Ryan Alexander, the first star of the game, with a goal and an assist. He is our Gunther Graphics Player of the Game tonight. Gunther Graphics, your go-to guy for logos, websites, and branding. His first pro goal, the game-winning goal in this one, helps send the Prowlers to the second round. How about one last look at our Gunther Graphics game stats here on the PHP Network as the Prowlers outshoot the Bobcats for the first time in this series, but they do give up goals on both Blue Ridge power plays as the Bobcats go 2 for 2 with the man advantage. Port Huron, though, outscores Blue Ridge 4-0 at even strength. And the Prowlers come away with the series victory in 3 games. We'll take one more break. When we come back, we'll see what other series have ended, what series will still be continuing, and we will do it next here on the PHP Network.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Hello, I'm home. There he is. What is happening?
Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite.
Can you stop?
Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Is that him?
Look over there. It's Bob. Wow, just look at that hair. Ever since he started getting his stuff from Global, the guy's unstoppable.
So that's what confidence can do?
That's just not fair.
Oh my goodness, it's Bob! Bob! Bob!
Give me the phone. I'm calling Global Pharmacy Plus for myself.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass? That's a hope play, LJ. Come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
Will Wiggleman back one final time here to McMorran Place. Port Huron wins the series 2-1 with a 4-2 come-from-behind victory over the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Let's take a look at what's going on around the FPHL with our out-of-town scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Oh my, the PD Ice Cats swept the Continental Division's top seed, the Athens Rock Lobsters, and blew them out both games, outscoring Athens 15-4 in the series. This was something that I don't know if anybody saw this coming, but Ice Cats did, and they are moving on to round 2. They will face the winner of Columbus and Monroe. Right now, the Moccasins lead 3-0 with their backs against the wall. Jared Christie and Hagen Moe added to Andrew Ballant's first period goal, and the Moccasins could be 20 minutes away from securing a Game 3 on home ice, which will be played tomorrow at 5:05 p.m. Eastern, 4:05 Central. Of course, here the Prowlers win the series 2-1 after a 4-2 win over the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The Outtown Scoreboard presented by Love After Hours Boutique and Boudoir. Use code Prowlers for 15% off there. Well, I think that's all I have. Trying to regain my breath here. This has just been an absolutely unreal evening at McMorran Place. We want you at the next one, and that will be likely this Friday, but we don't know date and time. TBD for Game 1 between the Prowlers and the Black Bears. Port Huron will host Game number 1. Get your tickets now at phprowlers.com/playoffs. That's going to do it for us here on the PHP Network. An electric crowd at McMorran Place. As producing and directing tonight's broadcast were Christian Jackson, Andres Hyde, Kyle Cosson, and Liz Brown. Zach Dotson was on the graphics and on the cameras tonight. Kim Nelson, Alexander Nelson, Aiden Bricker, Reagan Hayden, and Paul Kempa. It was a packed house tonight in Port Huron. The Prowlers get it done, and the fireworks blast. We'll see you in round 2 here on the PHP Network.